it looks like we are back. Welcome. Welcome back to Star Trek Next Frontier, episode 5 of season 1, There But For the Grace of God. We are back for a third session for this episode. Before we kick off, if we could get a recap, and Commander Locke, you volunteered to just give us some broad points of how we got to where we are in this session. Please take it away.
So we will, the brave crew of the Neil deGrasse Tyson begins the episode by leaving the holy seat of Xylxyk, where they have been investigating the disappearance of the USS Darwin, which presumably disappeared in the area about 60 years prior. Unfortunately, during their time there, one of the crew members, Lieutenant Frank Drake, did a bad no-no and got put in jail. And it definitely was his fault. He should have been more respectful of their religious iconography. As far as the crew knows, he is happily sitting in his cell in solitary confinement, but in a comfy cell, getting 3 meals a day, and definitely not working slave labor in a mine. Upon leaving the holy seat, the crew sat down and had a meeting with the representative from the holy seat of Xylxyk, who would be kind of guiding them on their mission towards trying to find the separatist group. And the crew was not exactly forgiving of the representative's religious beliefs, but they were still able to find common ground in that they have a mission to contact this separatist group, and if they can bring the separatist group to heel, they might be able to make a trade for their imprisoned crew member. As they got further into the nebula and started to lose shields from the heavy radiation, they were attacked by 2 Xylxyk ships. And during the battle, it was not looking very good to start. They were hit really hard by the surprise attack, but with some quick thinking, they were able to get the weapons back online and execute Commander Locke's special Klingon tactics in order to surprise the enemy. And that's about where we left off with the Neil deGrasse Tyson. At the same time, Lieutenant Frank Drake, well, I'll just let him explain his situation.
Yeah, well, Drake is very happy still in his lovely caves, being used for slave labor. Turns out he's gotten the attention of, I've forgotten the guy's name, but the head High Warden, there it is, I can see the note, High Warden, who decides to send a bunch of Nausicans to beat the crap out of him, but pulling a proper Doctor Who, whatever that might be, Frank manages to beat them both up with his sonic pickaxe. They managed to finish his mining for the day and is looking to escape with his Romulan friend. He didn't do much last time, just mined.
Mind his own business. Ew.
Well, almost.
Almost.
For the Nausicans.
If only he had mind his own business in the first place, it wouldn't be in the
I didn't even get involved in the fight.
Hey, Commander Locke's recap clearly said you were in the wrong. So that is now the law of the land. You were at fault. Okay?
It's now canon. It's now canon. Okay.
Okay. One more thing before we begin. Just one of numerous mistakes that happen in every single episode. Just before we go back into the combat that is in progress with the DeGrasse Tyson, there was a moment when I forgot that the resistance was rolled for the nebula, and then I asked for it to be done again later on, which removed the breach and extra damage that was done on the shields, as I mentioned in our Discord before. But that was pretty much just reset back to the way it was because you had some extra unbankable momentum that would have been used in Lieutenant Alder's role anyhow to finish restoring the shields. Anyway, I would imagine. So I just applied it to there, and you got 1 free point of shields back. But the breach, the first breach, which is an impact breach, it doesn't really do much except you have to turn the weapons back on. That now stands again like it did the first time. So that breach did happen, but the new tactical ensign, he would have just easily switched it back on before doing his thing anyhow. So really no net change was there except you got 1 free point of shield regenerated, basically. Okay? Just for those of you keeping score at home. All right. So we're going to start this session in sickbay, actually, for Lieutenant Thedagia, your acting CMO. I'm going to start with him as he was able to view the session last time, but unfortunately he wasn't able to participate. But we need to take care of him. So Thedagia, are you there, my friend?
I am.
There we go. So what's happening now in sickbay while you're down there? You know the ship has fallen under attack. There was, of course, red alerts going on. There was a loud impact. The ship is shaking, trembling, power fluctuations from the initial assault from the surprise attack. And when the shields were ripped down for a bit, you're sitting there at your terminal, keeping up with any casualty reports that are coming in when the ship comes under attack. And suddenly all these alarms start going off on your medical consoles as you're detecting the radiation levels in the ship are increasing massively because the shields were, for a time before Alder restored it, ripped down and the defense is pretty much stripped off of it. So we are going to do I'm going to do a new mechanic here that I mentioned to you all before the game started, that there was a slim chance that this mechanic might appear, and everything that happened going on is like, after the first episode, I'm like, oh, it looks like it might happen. When there was that the success at cost on the shields, I'm like, oh, that could very well happen. That could very well happen. And then the really good hit that I wanted to do so bad on the surprise attack, that was enough to trigger this mechanic. So let me just explain to everyone very, very briefly what this is. It's called an extended consequence. Okay? Just like the game, you have extended tasks. This is the negative reversal of an extended task, whereas if you view like the extended task you're doing similar to Lieutenant Drake's mining, that you have to reach this goal. Hang on a second, that's kind of crazy. Is anyone else seeing this? Hang on. I just got the warning message from Zoom that we're going to be kicked off in 10 minutes. Even though we're supposed to... You're getting that? Yeah. Even though we're supposed
Yeah,
we're
something popped up.
yeah, we're supposed to still be able to do it. So, what's going to happen?
Romulans.
What's that?
It's the Romulans.
It's the Romulans. It's damn Romulans. You can't trust it. Okay, well, this might be our last episode using Zoom then. If they remove that, they said we had until June. Anyhow, once we get kicked off of Zoom here, well, we'll just restart the thing. Just click and come right back in. Okay. So this is going to be a sloppy episode, but oh well. That's
When we restart, let me try making
yeah.
it,
You do
and
that.
I'll see if I haven't checked, but my account might still be paid for.
Yeah, we'll try with yours and see if that makes any difference. But wow, they lied to me. They lied to me. Anyhow, this is instead like an extended task where you are working against time, against the clock to try to get things done before bad things are happening. This is there are bad things happening and you're trying to get done before they explode into full effect. So with the extended consequence here, when the shields are weakened, radiation is going to start seeping into the ship because of it's not fully prepared against the radiation because of the I keep saying fails forward, but it's called success at cost. Fortunately, with Lieutenant Alder's massive double attack he did on restoring shields and getting whatever defenses you have back up and running, that's adding a resistance of 3 to this extended consequence. Whereas without that, it would have been resistance of 0. So he's provided a huge amount here. So while your shields are still like about 3/4 of the way full to full, it's roughly it'll be 3 resistance. If the shields drop below that, it'll drop to maybe 2 resistance, 1 resistance. If your shields are gone completely, it'll be 0 resistance. But you have Lieutenant Alder to thank for that defense there. So everyone sent him a nice card. But anyhow, I'm going to do this roll first. And this roll is happening before Alder put up that resistance of 3 on there, because this was the initial blast that came in. But of course, everything was happening at the same time, and Tadagia wasn't able to communicate in the last game. So just let us step back a couple minutes into the past, okay? So let me just do this. It's our first time. It's 4 dice on here. This has a stress track of 12 and a magnitude of 4. And the thing with this is that every time it hits like a breakthrough, or it's called a setback in this, something bad happens. And if all 4 magnitude is completed, that's when the ship basically gets flooded with lethal radiation. So, Tadagia, this is what you're noticing on your screen. I don't think the effects do anything, so that would just be 3 there. So, let me keep track with my pencil. So, as you're sitting there at your console, you see a massive amount of radiation has seeped into the ship once the shields got stripped down. That was 3 points of stress. That's 3 points of stress against the stress track of 12. So 3 points were done. Not enough to hit a setback, but it definitely has polluted the air. But you are right now the only one, Tadagia, who notices that the radiation has entered the ship.
Bridge. The Dodgia here. We just shown a significant increase in baryon radiation.
In the ship.
Yes, sir.
All right. Could this be could this be caused by the shield beam going down?
I believe so, sir.
All right, Lieutenant Alder, we need to have a high focus on making sure the shields stay up. We cannot allow any more radiation to continue to enter the ship.
Okay, Commander, I'll do my best to ensure we will not be harmed.
Lieutenant Thadagia, have the levels reached dangerous levels of radiation anywhere in the ship? Should we be concerned for the health of any of the crew?
Not yet, but we're close to it.
Closely monitor it and make sure to send med officers to any area of the ship that might become over-contaminated with radiation.
Sir.
Use your anti-radiation thingamabobber.
Understood.
Really? Turns off the comm. It's like,
Sorry, I don't have my technobabble chart up.
Yeah. No, that's okay. And again, I just want to point out again that this moment happened basically before Alder was able to restore the shield. So Alder went into multitasking mode, restored the shields completely, and then put that basic resistance that was gained in the first session back onto it, which is now the resistance of 3. Okay? Okay, good. Thadagia, is there anything you're going to be doing now with your sick bay staff because of this?
Yes, I want to prepare the staff for the possibility that the radiation might increase and cause sickness. So we're gonna set up some stims and basically devices along the ship so we can administer the help if needed.
Okay. So then once we go back into the combat with the Xylxyk ships, then you will still have a turn even though you're not on the bridge, so you could use your turn in those combat sessions to start doing the preparations you need just in case. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let me take a quick look here. Okay, so we have 2 minutes to go until Zoom kicks us out on this rudeness. So I'm going to pause the video. Let's kickstart Zoom, and then we'll come back with Frank Drake in a second. Okay? Let's get rid of this crazy thing. So hang on a second. Let me pause this, and here we go. What a terrible start. And it looks like we're back from our network errors from UPN here on this. Apparently, they don't like us. But anyhow, we resume in the Xylxyk deuterium mine. Was it the deuterium mine, or it wasn't dilithium? It was
deuterium.
Was it deuterium? It was a
Yeah.
mine. I'll look it up, but God, does it even matter at this point? You're just dying anyhow. So anyhow, now I really want to find out what it is. But deuterium, you lied to me, sir. I knew deuterium wasn't it because deuterium made no sense. Okay, so it's deuterium. Okay, anyhow, you were able to complete your mining for the previous day. You were able to turn that in. There's an area where everyone's pushing their carts, returning it. Again, once you got there with your cart, there's the guards that are scanning it, weighing it, making sure that everything adds up. There's no problem in there. And when you just think you're done and you're about to walk away, you hear a voice call out to one of the guards and say, "Hold that for a moment, please." And as you turn around, of course, you know exactly who it is coming around, don't you, sir?
It's the High Warden, isn't it?
It is the High Warden. So you are there, and there's basically a guard here. Guard here. We'll just put a couple guards here. Not necessarily exactly how it looks here. And the High Warden comes up here. Okay, there we go.
He looks cool, at least.
Well, at least he looks cool. he comes over and he just starts to look into the cart, not really examining it, not really even checking the numbers, how much it weighs, how much you've actually collected. Looking at it, impressive. He steps close to you. He steps up to you as you're standing there. Comes up close, right into your face. The guards stand really close to him as he approaches you, as they're flanking him. And he starts looking into your eyes. Interesting.
Can I help you?
He turns and looks at the guards. Like, yes, I think we might need to speed up our operations on this one here. Take the cart away. And he walks off on his own.
I mean, that was a very lovely moment between me and the High One, staring into my eyes and whatnot. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and back away.
Okay.
Before someone tries to grab me again.
No one is actually trying to grab you or anything. They let you walk away. The two guards return back to where they are and they continue processing the other carts going in. As you turn around, as usual, you see your Romulan confidant standing in the shadows as he typically is, and he's clearly trying to gain your attention. Just not anything big, but in that Romulan spy type way that they always do.
Which I will head over to him.
Okay. And you still can't move your piece, I'm sure.
Oh, that's a good point, can I?
Probably not.
No, I can drag a big box over it, that's about it.
Well, there you go. You put your box over it. You come over there, and the Romulan, as usual, he's always looking around, making sure nobody's listening, and he's kind of rubbing that crooked, broken hand of his just absent-mindedly. And what was that about?
Your guess would be as good as mine. Apparently, after staring into my eyes in a lovely moment, we need to speed up the operation on this one, whatever that means.
His eyebrows raise when you say that.
Does that mean anything to you?
I think it's a sign for us to also speed up our intention to escape here as well. You might want to make your move tonight.
We might want to make our move. How does it work here? Do we get assigned to a room? Do we sleep in the corridors? What happens?
You find any space that's open, you lay down, and you hope nobody kills you in the night.
Perfect. I'm guessing the guards continue their rounds?
They do indeed. But, yeah.
Yeah, let's go find a more secluded spot and I can tell you what I've got planned. Make sure you have your... Wait, do we still have our sonic pickaxes or did they take that away for the end of the day?
The pickaxes get returned at the end of the day. All your carts, your machinery, everything you turned in.
Bollocks. Well, that ruined my plan.
Well,
okay.
You might have a plan. You might be able to.
Well, I did have a plan. Yeah. Okay, let's go and find a quiet spot and go through the plan. And we'll head off into one of the corridors.
He takes you into one of the corridors similar to the one that's behind you at this very moment.
Perfect. So, my plan, not much of a plan, and very simple. Simplicity being best is during the night, whilst one of the guards doing the rounds, we jump him, take his armor. Admittedly, I was hoping to get a card so we could pretend he was a dead body, and then make our way into what I believe to be as the control room. How did you get here, by the way? Did you teleport in like I did?
Oh, that machine? Yes, they teleported me in as well.
Okay, cool. So you don't know what's at the other end of the elevator?
No, I've not seen it. All I know is that only the prisoners come through the transport chamber. All the guards, all the Xylxyk, they all come through the elevator.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So I think first thing we need to do after jumping 2 guards, if we can find a cart lying around and pretend they are dead prisoners, we can make our way into the control room and hopefully be able to get into the security system and see what's on the other end of the elevator, be it some ships lying around or a boatload more guards.
And the control room, you believe it's where the teleporter is, correct?
Do you know anywhere else that could be?
No, I just know that's where the High Warden always retreats to for whatever he does back there.
Will he be there now?
I've never actually gone in.
That's a very good point. It should be fine. We'll be dressed as guards, and hopefully there won't be too many in there, and we can deal with them. As we've got the guns, they hopefully won't be expecting the guards to suddenly turn on them. And yeah, the second point is, as a matter of principle, I always like to have a side route in case the main one gets blocked. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge value. And I want to see if the elevator's not an option, whether we can teleport ourselves out again.
Well, if you have the know-how of working that machinery, then that might be another choice.
I was kind of hoping you'd have some engineering experience.
Well, I can't say I'm an engineer, but I do have quite a bit of knowledge to work with.
It's more than I've got. So, yeah, for now, I think find a comfy spot near each other, not too close, so we don't raise suspicion, and then get ready to jump some guards.
Just tell me how much time you need before you want to meet again, and I will come find you.
Meet me in, and then I'll give him directions to one of the corridors that seems to routinely have a guard go through in about an hour.
I'll be there.
Cool. And I'll make my way towards that area myself.
Okay. And he will skulk off on his own as well. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, then if that's good there, you're just going to go prepare, wait for that hour, and then launch your plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing, I can't find it. I'll have a look out to see if anyone left a cart about, but yeah.
Okay. No carts left about, but you could always try to steal one back from where the guards are taking them.
Is there a lot of guards, and how many carts?
Well, you know that all the guards are kind of gathering the carts now, so you would have to wait for everything to be done, then investigate where they actually took it, so that might change your plan entirely. Are you talking about the mine carts or the cart where they drag the dead bodies?
Was that not the same thing?
No.
Okay. That's why I called it a trolley, anyway.
I said stop using those British terms. Okay.
Well, a trolley's different from a cart.
I know!
Okay, then. It's fine. Never mind. No, I thought those carts were what they used to lug the dead bodies into the room.
No, the cart would be like more, the mining cart was like a typical like mining cart, like deep, heavy and put in there. Whereas the other one with the dead body was more like a slab, like a hovering slab.
But I had assumed they'd leave that in the control room.
Oh, they might. Yeah, it might be in the control room, yeah. I mean, that's where they took it. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
go there, if you go there.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to let me walk in and say, sorry, just getting the dead body count, 1 second. So,
excuse me,
yeah,
just need a corpse cart for a second. Just Nausicaan, you know how that goes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Then I will not be looking for the cart.
Okay.
Because I know I can't get it.
Okay. Well, there is an easy way to get it. Just die, and they'll bring it out.
I don't want to do that.
Okay. Just the options on the table. Okay.
It's a very, very likely option.
Yeah. Well, at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just gonna get ready for that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go wait and pretend to be asleep.
Okay, then in that case, let's switch over to the space battle back again. Okay. Everyone will be resuming the roles. Drake, you are now in control of the cleverly named John Doe, who is, what am I saying? He is the ensign at the tactical station, so you're taking over for him. One very disappointing thing here. Oh, that's a shame.
The photo didn't work, did it?
No, the photo's working for. Can you see it? The photo is working for me. Can anyone see it? The new screen on Roll20.
I can see the new screen now. I meant John Doe's name.
Oh, not that one. Yeah. Yeah, that worked. It's weird. I tried setting some things in Roll20 so you could see how much damage, how much power was on every ship. But right now it's currently only showing you how much power is remaining on the DeGrasse Tyson. It's not showing the shields or anything for you all. Oh, I thought I was being very helpful. And now it just turns out I wasted my time. Let's see here. Can I... Wait a minute. But what does that mean, though? Oh, you people. See, some of the... Hang on. Oh, this might do it. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Stop it.
I mean, that blue power bar above our ship, I gotta squint like crazy with my old man eyes to see it saying 6 of 9.
Oh... well, I mean, you don't really... I mean, just a visible thing. Oh, this is starting to frustrate me immensely. There's a drop down. There's a drop down box here. There's a drop down box here, and every time I move the mouse to select the thing I want, just moving the mouse makes the drop down box disappear.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah, and that's how I feel currently. So, let's see if I can. Okay, that might work. Can you see anything right now? Well, no, I didn't save the settings yet, so hang on. Let me just see if I could get this to work. Because, I mean, this will help in the future, in case we need to. Let me just, okay, all right. Can you see that now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, then let me make the change on the other ship. Good gravy, man. Why would this be a secret, huh? Why would this be a secret? Okay, I know how to fix it now. But Roll20, I swear to God. This episode is sponsored by Roll20. This should be in real time. It should. Oh my God. We are not getting a Roll20 sponsorship anytime soon, I can tell you that, because I am about to explode on this company. Okay. This looks like everyone can see that. Good. Why would the other one default to be invisible if the first one is visible? I hate you. I hate you so much. Okay. There we go. All right. This might work. Can you see all the stuff now for all 3 ships?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, so basically what it is, just to help everyone keep track, the green bar is how much power that ship has used. The blue bar is how many shield points are available, and the red bar I just have on the NPC ships. That's basically how many breaches they can take. Okay? So if you deal over their number of breaches, then you would destroy the ship and kill everyone on board, basically. Okay? Yes, no? We're good? Okay. All right. Then,
can I check?
Yes.
But before we get going, what's the starting momentum and threat?
6 and 6.
6 for both, okay.
Yes. We're at 6 and 6. So we're going to start back at the top of the round. Because in the last round, the first round of it, the DeGrasse Tyson crew was the last to act because you had extra members compared to the size 3 ship. Now that there's 2 ships there, you both have roughly 6 actions now. Since you were the last to act, the enemies are going to act first this round. And all the actions have reset now, so there's no extra difficulty for doing an attack this time because you haven't made an attack this round. So all the things that apply for combat apply now. So we are going to do that. Now remember also that they have, if I could find it, they have the advantage that they made last time on one of these papers that apparently there you go. They have, the lead ship has the advantage of upper ground. Now, Commander Locke, you also created an advantage in the last one of your Klingon special tactics. So what I want to know from you, would you like your advantage to cancel out their advantage? Or would you just like both of you to be operating both on your own individual advantages?
Let's go for the high stakes. We both have advantage.
Okay, so you both got Klingon Special on. You got Klingon Special. He has upper ground on the lead ship only. Okay, so that advantage is going to at least give you for this round until Commander Locke acts again. That's going to give you it's going to lower the difficulty of doing the attacks, because you said this is an offensive
Yes.
thing. Okay, so
it's offensive.
Yeah. And you're going to be at medium range, which is the optimal range for phasers. That's basically where you are now. So if you change your range compared to the ships, it might affect the difficulty. But they are going to attack first, and we'll have the ship that came out second. The ship that came out second is going to be the one that's attacking first, as they're basically coming in to assist their friends. That makes sense, yes? Making sure everyone's following this. Oh, where's my... Oh, good. I was dumb enough to do that. Thank you. Jeezy peasy. There we go. All right, there's the ships. All right, so they are going to roll and their attack, and that is... Do that, and I'll have to roll for the ship too. I'm going to have them spend 1 threat to roll a 3rd die for now, because why not, right? So, I wish the Klingon dice would come with more than 2. That makes no sense. I don't get the way they do these dice. You get 5 dice as a maximum, and you can't do that by buying like complete sets. Why? Okay, anyhow. 3 dice. And that's a 15, a 12, and a 3. What are there? That is 1 success, so they come in with a miss, with a whiff. They come in firing, and it's not a phaser beam. They have phased polaron beams, and it just like blazes right over the DeGrasse Tyson's hull. Okay. Next, it's to the DGT. Who would like to go next? Now, keep in mind, you have the advantage for the next attack. You also have Lieutenant Weber has scanned for weakness, so until he acts again, you get a piercing of 2 on your next attack as well. So he on the main ship.
Go first.
It's
Yeah,
either
first,
you or probably even Thishran of trying to do some kind of maneuver. Right now you were doing evasive maneuvers last time, Thishran,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
that
it
would
was
make the
evasive.
difficulty harder for you right now, Drake, or Doe, I should say. Even though Commander Locke's advantage is kind of negating that, so it would be regular difficulty for you. But if Thishran was going to change that into like an attack run or something, then that would be additional for when you actually do fire.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so talk it through again. This is really our first big space combat, so I'm not rushing anyone.
The evasive maneuvers, do they continue until he makes another
Until
move at the helm?
Until his next action, yeah.
Well, then we might want to let the other ship fire while we still have the evasive maneuvers up. Presuming that the next turn they take will be them firing. So if there's something else we can do right now, maybe even if we want to let the shields, if we want to put the shields up first, then let them attack, then we can do an attack run and to bump our attack up again and then attack.
Shields are at full right now, so Alder got that taken care of.
They're at full.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, at the end of the last one. Your power is down a bit. You're down 6 to 9 power, so someone like Alder could try to restore that. Try to get you some power back. That's a possible. Or you could even go let Thadagia use his turn in sickbay to try to prepare for catastrophe with the radiation, as he's part of this as well.
That might be a good shout, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. That one's got my vote.
Yep.
Federacia, go.
Lieutenant Thadagia, do your thing.
Do your thing. All right. You want to prepare. You want to start preparing your med teams for what, radiation treatment?
Correct.
Is that right? Okay. So doing that would be. Let's see. Well, you're not exposed to radiation, so you don't have to worry about treating it yet. So you could do something like create advantage of maybe radiation crews standing by or something. So that would be a difficulty 2 task for you.
Okay. Task.
Hang on a second. Can I stop you for 1 second? Can I stop you for 1 second? Because I did forget something. I did forget to roll for the ship assist on the phasers or the attack last time. So sorry, I forgot about that. Sorry, but you can still do that. You can still do that. Hang on.
Might be dead.
You might be dead. I gotta find where their weapons and security is. And that's a 16, so no, they still missed. Okay. Apologies. So that would be. You would probably do like a medical plus command, right? Because you're preparing your crew to do it. Yes.
Yes. So command.
Your command is 1. Or
One,
no,
yes.
I'm sorry. It's not command and medicine because it's the same thing. Your medicine is 4, and it would be a presence and medicine because you're
Presence.
Yeah,
yes.
You're leading them. Sorry, I was wrong with that. 14. Are you going to buy any extra dice? This is a 2 difficulty. This is a level 2 difficulty task. You also, is there anything that applies to you? I mean, it's your choice. If you want to use any value, if you think that's the time for it. Your talents don't look like they apply right now. And there's still 6 momentum to use.
Still 6. Okay. I'll use like maybe 2 of those, right?
You could use 1 for an extra die, or 2 more after that for 3 total for a second die.
Okay.
How much would you like? Or you could even just use threat to buy it as well. But you don't have cautious and you don't have bold, so you get nothing special from using either or. You could use both. But right now, it's, momentum's maxed out, so it's there to be used.
Yeah, let's go with the just go with the 2 momentum. Or the momentum.
The 1 momentum, yeah?
Yeah.
For 3 dice.
Momentum.
Okay.
Yes.
So that would be a task roll of 3. And presence and medicine. No assist with the ship right now. Okay, there you go. That's a difficulty 2, and you got 3, so you get that momentum back that you spent. Okay. All right, so you're getting your crew organized. If you want to give them a little speech or yell out commands to make it feel like a Star Trek episode, go right ahead.
All right, team. We only have a few moments to take care of what we need to do. Crews are depending on us. We've trained for this. Let's go.
They give you an aye, sir, and they all start running around, getting all their hyposprays equipped, getting everything out. All right, it goes back to the NPCs now. So they are. Let's see, the first ship, which I need to show that they used 1 power. They are there. So the first ship is going to return fire against you as well. So they get, it lowers the difficulty for them because of the advantage that this ship has. So they have that, and they are just going to roll. Using there we go. That is 3, a 3, and 18. Yes, that's 2 successes, and that's what they need right now. Or no, right now they need, yeah, because they get the difficulty. Yeah, because their advantage cancels out the difficulty. So yes, that's, they only need 2. So yes, they do hit with this one. Okay, and that is again. Where's the ship? That is. I should have made it. That's handy. There we go. Again, that's 7. 7 dice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 dice worth of Polaron beam damage. And again, another mistake I made last time that I mentioned. It has piercing 2, not vicious. So again, in the end, it was the same net worth from what they spent, but you know how it goes. All right, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage. Plus you all get to roll somebody, it could be John Doe, 2 extra dice, d6 of resistance for the nebula. So just any 2 d6. Dice? Yeah, challenge dice there. Where's the ship here?
Did the ship roll well?
How'd the ship do?
The ship did do nothing.
Can you roll it again? Because sometimes like, I think that just means you rolled all zeros, but I think that's what they said in thing. But just to be
zeros.
That
no, I think the first one didn't register that I put the 2 there.
No, I think people said in the forums that when it's only zeros, it shows nothing. There's like a glitch of this, but just to be safe, making sure it's working. Just to be safe. Okay, so that's 1, but they do have 2 effects, and the DeGrasse Tyson has how much resistance? 3. So that makes it 4. So yeah, they take off all the resistance from there. So what that does is it's another Polaron blast, so it hits the shields pretty massively, and it takes down 8 shields in 1 hit. Which I believe 3, 6, how much? 4, 8, 9, 10, leaving you with 2 left right now.
Damn.
And that's another breach, so somebody can roll me. Julian, can you roll me a regular D20, not a Star Trek D20, but a numerical one?
Yeah. Just a second.
If it's weapons, that could be bad. A 20 again. It is weapons. That's exactly what you rolled last time. Okay. So I'm going to start having to ask other people to roll that d20 because you're insanely lucky with it. So now the difficulty of all tasks involving or assisted by weapons are +2. And the difficulty to repair this right now is 3. So again, as an impact, the weapons got taken offline again. But they're also going to need to be repaired first. So we're going to need somebody to do repair roll on that. Wow, 2 breaches directly to the weapons. They're not even aiming. That's insane. Okay, it's back to the DGT crew. So the ship gets hit hard. You're rattling. The power's fluctuating. John Doe, your console is sparking and exploding. You're getting casualty reports coming in over the ship, and you see your weapons have gone offline. You definitely need somebody to do some repairs if you're going to return fire.
Lieutenant Alder, are you able to assist me with this? Otherwise, we ain't going to be shooting back.
Oh man. Because look, all I'm going to be able to do is a presence and engineering role to try and do damage control. But Thaddeus actually got a better presence and engineering talent than me. So I'm not sure if I should do that or if I should do power management to get us more power back.
I mean, if you get the shields back, I think that might be better. We're on 2 of 10.
Oh man, regenerate shields. Hold on a moment. Let's see. Well, if I remember, then if I do regenerate shields, I can also use momentum, right? To gain an extra 2 points of shields back on top of the 2 I get from.
Yes, every momentum you spend will get 2 more points back up, if I remember correctly.
Total of how much? Oh, how much momentum can I use in total?
Oh, according to this, regenerate shields, it is. Oh, this one doesn't tell me if it's one. It's going to cost you 1 power, but it doesn't tell me if that is. I need this card here. Regenerate shields is. It's difficulty 1. Difficulty shields is 0. 2 shield plus. It's repeatable, so yeah, you could use as much momentum as you have.
Okay, so I'm going to put it to the crew. How much are they willing to give up to me so that I can get us extra, well, potentially extra shields?
But do you have to choose the amount before?
No.
No. Okay.
Difficulty 1. Let's see. Yeah, if you succeed, you get 2 shields back, and it would cost 3 momentum to regain shields to full.
Well, I mean, that sounds doable to me. So let me just roll. So I can use my engineering prowess focus, I suppose. Yeah. So
I would imagine, yeah. And are you going to buy any extra dice as well? Because that might gain you more momentum too.
Well, yeah, I suppose. How much am I looking at for an extra die?
Just 1 momentum or 1 threat.
Just 1. Well, I mean, for my character scene, I'm always more cautious when I suppose using the momentum would make more sense.
Yeah.
So let's use 1 momentum then.
Okay.
And then, yeah. Okay, so if I buy momentum, that gives me a range of 3, right?
Yeah, your task roll of 3. Your complication range is still just 1.
1. Okay, so let's see.
And this is going to use 1 power as well.
Let me just double check then quickly. That would be control engineering, right?
Control. What did it say? It is control plus engineering, and somebody needs to roll structure plus engineering for the ship.
It can roll for the ship.
Okay. So you
Just
got
1 roll, yeah.
Just 1 die, yeah. Okay. So you get 2 extra momentum, so you're back up to 6, and you got 1 extra. You regain 2 points of shields at the cost of 1 power, and there is 6 points left to regain.
And you said if I want to get our shields to maximum, how much momentum spend?
It would cost 3 more momentum, and you already have 1 extra that you can't bank because you're already at maximum 6. So basically, it would take that extra 1 plus 2 more momentum, and you'll be back up.
Okay,
No.
I say go. I say go for it.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Okay. Doing that. Oh, one other thing I forgot to do before we jump to the next person's turn is first let me, because I doubt that it's going to let anyone else like actually mess with these tokens on Roll20, so let me do that. Okay, shields are back up, but the other thing I forgot is because the shields were heavily damaged again and knocked down, that triggers the extended consequence again, so I have to make the next roll for the extended consequence. Since the shields were taken down to only 2, there's only a resistance of 1 for this roll. But of course, Terry gets it back up there. Hang on a second. I rolled a massively good roll, but it just like spilled out of my hand like a 6-year-old cheating at dice, so I'm re-rolling it. Sorry. Okay, 4. So no direct setback. But I have too many notes here, and I can't find what. So 4. So it's now at 7. 7 out of 12 before the first setback comes in. Okay, so again, also just real quick, brief interlude. While your team's down there in sickbay getting everything ready, Thadagia, you see the monitors in sickbay register another huge spike in radiation just after the ship clearly got hit very hard again by some kind of weapon. So you see that it's getting up to a pretty dangerous situation. Still, people are safe. It's not at levels that you need to worry about immediately acting on. But again, once all 4 of the breakthroughs get hit, or setbacks in this case, that's when it turns deadly. Okay, right now there's 0 of the 4. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, it's back to the NPCs, correct? Making sure I'm doing this because you just restored the shields. So the third action is the lead ship is going to try to restore their power. So we're going to do that. They still. Okay, great. So that's a roll for them. Okay. Oh. Power management. Difficulty. Oh, they actually suck pretty bad. So no, they're unable to get their power levels back up. So that was disappointing. Okay, back to the heroes.
Shran, you want to do an attack run?
The weapons are offline, so keep that in mind too.
Yeah, that was silly.
Crap, yeah.
About that, so I don't really think I have a whole lot of options.
If
We can.
yeah.
Well, turning them back, restoring them is only a minor action, so hopefully.
Restoring it is a minor action, but they're also damaged now because of that second breach, so the damage needs to be repaired.
So can we have? Let's see. So we've got Sashran will be piloting, and Ensign would be firing if they hadn't been destroyed or damaged, and Weber, Lieutenant Weber, what did we have a plan for you?
Not yet, but he does have the weakness that he got on the last one. So if he takes his turn, I believe the weakness advantage disappears. Am I right, Bill?
Yeah, it's kind of he's still keeping that lock on that lead ship for you, keeping that. So as long as he doesn't break that, then yeah, you'll have that. So Lulk, you could again potentially do like you could do like an advantage thing, or you could do a kind of command roll for it. It's for commanding the people engineering. You could also do a direct for like someone like Alder to allow him to take a very rare second action in one turn by using your direct action. You can only do it once per scene. So this would be the only time you could use it. So you could basically give him the order to get weapons back online, and you assist him with your command and presence roll, I believe it is.
I'm just to put this out there. The Shran's actually got a better stats-wise is better than me in terms of damage control.
But it wouldn't make sense for Thishron to leave his station and change to go to engineering.
I'll just put that out there.
As the ops person, like, you have control of like every station on the ship. At his point, it wouldn't make sense to do that.
We need Velik back.
Yeah, where the hell's Velik?
And are we at the point where the enemy ships are done for this round, or they still have actions?
They still have 3 more actions.
Oh, they have 3 more actions.
So
Yeah.
none of them will be shooting. Oh, we would assume.
Well, the thing is that anytime they repeat an action, the difficulty goes up. So
have we tried to hail them at any point?
I was going to suggest that after I missed.
We just started like shooting the shit out of them, and
well,
then,
they start shooting you, so keep that in mind. Yeah.
Shall we try a diplomatic approach?
We could have the representative hail them.
There you go.
That I don't know if that would be a good idea. Because if they hear from the representative, if there's tensions between them, they probably don't want to hear from. They may want to hear from a. I want to say neutral party, but
well, I've already been broadcasting my like neutral, we're a science vessel, we're not here to attack message, as we like it's presumably still going.
Yeah.
And also presumably that's how they found us. Like
yeah.
Presumably. Deity, right?
So, I mean, I don't think that putting my face out there again is going to do much. And I mean, they had previous interactions with Klingons anyway, and that, from what we know, did not lead to fights with the Klingons. So,
worth a shot.
I mean, maybe they just don't like my ugly face or something, but
It'd be a first.
Well, the transmission wouldn't have shown your face. It would just be a repeating message loop. So yeah.
Oh well, there's the issue right there.
Yeah. Yeah. The message wouldn't have shown your face.
For getting getting the representative to send a transmission, that would be an action on my part, or on the NPC's action.
I would say it would be an action on your part, because you would be doing whatever you're trying to do to maybe ask her what to say or tell her what to do. Like, so that could also be an advantage type situation, or at least a if not trying to make an advantage, then doing like a social combat sort of thing where you're trying to tell her what to say and what to do.
Is the representative on the bridge with us?
Yes, she's sitting right next to you. I could go directly to the bridge.
All right. Well, then let's see. Let's see if I can roll this into one action. The first, I want to ask her a question and then have her talk to them.
Okay, so let's see how this plays out, and we'll see if it's one action.
If everyone's okay with us doing this before other actions.
I mean, makes sense
Yeah,
as a science
sure.
vessel. And our guns are down, so.
Representative, are you familiar with these ships? Would you be able? Could you tell? Are these ships from the main your government body, or are these ships of the separatist group?
Okay, as the bridge is rocking and things are rocking in pure Star Trek fashion, she said, "These are civilian vessels."
Civilian vessels. Please, could you? We're going to open the comms. I would like you to use your authority as the representative of your government to ask them to stand down.
Stand down. Well, I'll try my best, Commander.
Threaten them with solitary confinement. You seem so easily to throw around these days.
So you want me to threaten them? Okay.
Just use your authority as a representative of the government.
Understood. Okay, so can you give a roll? Let's try to create another advantage for you. How's that? Basically, what kind of advantage we want to do here? How about let's call it a good faith advantage that you're trying to communicate with them, not antagonistically, but actually approach them in good faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's that work? Okay, so again, creating an advantage is a difficulty 2 task that you could do, and you're trying to use it via the communication with the representative. So what stats would you say for this one, Commander Locke?
Well, discipline probably is command.
Definitely, yeah.
For attributes though, I don't know, reason?
Reason, yeah, I can see that because you're trying to reason with them. You're trying to take a more like logical approach.
I don't think it's daring, unfortunately.
No, it's not daring, but it is still a very bold command act. So it would make sense if you want to use your bold command.
I mean, I guess it could be presence.
Presence, I would say presence or reason. Either of those would be the most logical, and I think your leadership focus would apply too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So complication roll is 2, or range is 2.
Let's see. Complication range is still 1. The task roll is 2 unless you buy extra dice. But I want to throw a little wrench into the mix, if I may.
Okay.
May I? I would like to offer you to increase the difficulty to 3 by this going against your value of actions speak louder than words. That this is not really up your alley to, especially as a Klingon, to back out of combat and instead call for peace. So if you're willing to take that as a negative value use, difficulty of 3, I'll give you another point of determination.
Okay, let's go for it. Fuck it.
Okay, so you have 2 determination.
I'm going to give Chris. I'm going to give you another option. So Sean, you could like direct him to do ramming speed. I mean, that would definitely be.
Keep that in mind.
What if the Shrine just opened the hell and started talking to them? I mean, just doing it on its own.
While you're waiting for Commander Locke to make a decision.
Exactly, he just does it.
That's a very Theshron thing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's exactly something you would do.
Verbal ramming.
Yeah, verbal ramming. Hey, you idiot! Stop shooting us! No. All right. So you are going to make that difficulty a 3 then, right? So you're now up to 2 determination.
Yeah.
So
and
that's good, and that means you did use that value even though it's negative for this. So it's difficulty
and I'll
3.
use a threat as bold command.
Okay, how much?
1, I guess. So that makes it task roll 3, complication range 3.
Task roll 3, complication range 3. Focus of leadership is on. Okay, and I have to make.
Wait, do I have to click something for the focus?
Yeah, you have to click focus. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay, and
anything else? This is your last chance to. Let's see, Commander.
I think that's everything. Let's.
You use momentum as well as threat, or is it one or the other?
Oh, he could use
Extra
momentum
dice.
as well. If he wants to buy another die with momentum, he could spend 2 more momentum as well.
Okay.
I mean, we're at max 6, so might as well.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. What's that, Terry?
I just want to ask, like, at what point does a person do a roll for hailing frequencies open?
That would be if well, you could do it like in combat. You could do it in even outside of combat too. So it's basically what you're doing here, communicating with them. But the sole purpose of that is really to just try to build momentum up, because it doesn't really grant you anything mechanically. It's just trying to establish communication and building momentum. But since he's not actually trying to just do a regular communication with them, he's trying to disarm the whole combat. We're going this different route here. But yes, this would be like a standard time to use that for like yourself or a communications officer. So in other situations, this would be perfect time for it. Are you good? So you spent 2 more momentum, right? So you're down to 2 momentum left in the pool. And you got 4 dice you're rolling, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Wow.
That looks successful to me.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. Let me take a look. Like, where's my glasses? No. That you need a 3, and you got 4 extra momentum on top of it, which maxes you back out to 6. For the pool here. So I would say that you have successfully created a good faith advantage. So you call out for them to open a channel hailing frequency from Representative Middleland. And let's see here, give me 1 second. One second. So the attack stops, and on the screen a face appears. The representative looks a little surprised, and she calls out, "Mir." And she turns and looks over to Commander.
No, this is a view screen, not a mirror. Sorry.
Oh, God, I thought that was me. Sorry. Carry on as you were. She looks at you and said, "He's one of the lead proponents of the Secularist movement."
Well, I'm glad we didn't blow them out of the sky like we were just about to.
The man on the screen who you're looking at, the man in the mirror, I suppose. He looks at you. Says, "I'm unfamiliar with this vessel, but I know that you are the ones who are working with the first scholar, Ani. What brings you here? Why are you following us?"
Following? We are simply trying to find you to meet with you. Is it always your policy to shoot first and ask questions later?
When we're being set up in an ambush, then yes, indeed, I'm afraid it is.
Ambush? We were broadcasting that we're a friendly vessel trying to come out, trying to speak with the people. We're a science vessel.
We were opened fire upon down on the surface.
Surface? We're in a nebula.
So you're trying to lie to him?
Wait. What surface? No, I'm
When we were in
personally-
the garden, they got shot at.
Oh, he's referring to that. I see.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to lie to him. Okay. Okay.
No. I'm actually confused.
Oh yeah, you were shot.
I apologize if you were open fire upon, but it was not our crew. Wait, did Drake didn't actually fire?
No,
did he?
no, he did not. He got
Our
tackled.
crew has not fired upon anyone. We are here as peacekeepers. We are simply here on a reconnaissance mission to find our lost crew from some time ago. We have nothing to do with your politics.
If you have nothing to do with the politics, why are you working with their government?
Because their government stole one of our crew members. And frankly, we probably are in the same boat as you, finding their government policies ridiculous.
The representative just looks at you very disappointedly. And I see you brought along Representative Middelan.
Well, we had to have someone to represent the government just in case that might help. But at this point, our main goal is to get our crew member back from their solitary confinement and be on with our mission.
Then what is it that you want from me?
Well, we were hoping that we might get another viewpoint on this whole conflict before moving forward with what the government has asked of us, as we have already found them to be not the most agreeable or forthcoming with their rules and laws. So we might hear from you. What is your viewpoint? I ask that we both stand down on this conflict so that we can sit down and have a conversation.
Fine. Then I will agree to meet with you, provided that I have assurances from Representative Middelan that this is going to be a fair and legal meeting. She agrees to it.
I'm glad that we can come to a peaceful agreement, at least for the time being.
If you permit, I will come aboard your vessel, but I only ask that my crew is allowed to leave no matter what the decision is that happens.
On my honor, you have that assurance.
I do recognize your species, and if you say your honor is on the line, I think I can believe that.
I believe that due to the location's nebula's interference, we cannot beam you over, so you are welcome to take a transport ship to carry over to our vessel.
We will dock with your vessel, and I will come aboard.
All right. We will see you shortly.
Okay, and then the transmission will end eventually. So, we'll switch over quickly. We'll switch over to, what the heck's happening here? That's weird. Something strange is going on in my roll 20. Okay, we are going to go change the scene. So that scene ended very, very impressive, I might add. I want to say that was... I didn't think you were going to talk your way down out of combat in combat. So that was an interesting way. We're losing one momentum for the scene change as we're going back to the mines with Lieutenant Drake. When we come back to the DeGrasse Tyson, we'll have the the meeting with Mir. Okay.
So we're stopping all the bridge actions, right? I don't keep the scan up.
Yeah, for shockingly, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised because in 2 years this crew has managed to just like avoid all combat at every stake. So Lieutenant Weber is there, like he's holding on. He's like, "We got him, sir. We got."
Bill, I'm playing a freaking Klingon,
And you're
I
playing-
still talk my way out of every combat. Like,
You
how
talk-
does this happen?
You're half Klingon, right?
Half
Yeah,
Klingon. Well, that's the half of you that's working. See, if you would have called your father for advice instead of your mother, he would have been like, "Kill them all, son. Kill them all." Like, I didn't even say who we're dealing with. I don't care. Kill them. So yeah, everyone on the ship can pretty much stand down and start doing your repairs and fixing everything. Because, yeah, nice diplomacy there, Commander Locke. Wow. Okay. And you even got a negative value use because you're usually supposedly a punchy type. But there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, we
got all of our momentum back, right?
You just lost one because of the scene change, but otherwise,
Okay.
yeah, you're up to 5 momentum. Dang. Okay, so we'll do the next Drake scene before we take our 10-minute break. So here we go, going back to the mines of Moria. About 1 hour has passed, and your Romulan compatriot, who you still haven't even bothered to ask what his name is, skulks up to you in the darkness, and he finds you doing whatever you're doing there. Whatever it is, I really don't know. So you could tell me.
Pretending to be asleep.
Pretending to be asleep.
I open my eye and see it's him when he comes over.
Okay.
And I say, pull up a seat further down the tunnel. We'll ambush him when he walks past.
Okay. He nods in agreement and he slinks off into the shadows down the tunnel.
Also, to point out, I forgot to mention earlier, the corridor, the tunnel that I've mentioned has a little crevice in. It's one of the places I noticed on my walk. So I'm kind of sat in the crevice, slightly, out of sight.
Okay. So that sounds like an advantage to me, my friend. So you'll have to either roll for it, or you could just spend 2 momentum to buy that crevice.
I'm going to need that momentum.
Okay.
So I will roll.
Okay, it's going to be difficulty 2. Keep in mind. And this is an act of finding your character sheet. Oh, it's the last sheet. The sheet I need is the bottom one. So finding this would be definitely a security roll because you're looking for something to sneak up and surprise. I would say
reason.
Yeah, reason, because you're trying to find the most reasonable place to hide.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, on difficulty 2, and this could also be a bold security you could buy with threat. Oh yeah,
go on then. I've not done that yet. Let's do it.
Okay.
You're gonna use it on me anyway.
Definitely. Okay. Then you get 3 dice to roll here.
Please pass. Oh, fuck's
sake. You get a reroll.
I do get a reroll.
You do get a reroll.
Yay!
Hey! It actually
worked for once.
Okay, so you actually found your place to hide. So you are there ready for a sneak attack. You're waiting in darkness, and soon, sure enough, one of the solo guards... Why is it not on my screen? One of the solo guards comes down on his little patrol, and he gets to you. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do a very classic Star Trek move, which is once he walks past with the double fists at the back of the neck, knocking him out.
There you go. All right,
and this is where I trip.
Yeah, this is where you trip. So you got your advantage here. So I'm going to let you take the attack by surprise. So there's no counter attack on it. So if you're able to knock him out in one blow, he's not going to be able to struggle back. Okay?
Cool.
And I need to find the stats for the guard, if you don't mind.
I'm also going to buy another dice with momentums for a total of 3. My focus is on as well with hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you're doing, you're buying the die with momentum or threat?
How much? We've got 5 momentum?
You got 5 momentum right now, yes, and you have 7 threat.
That's getting a wee bit dangerous. All right, then.
Sorry. Roll 1d6 because you also have untapped potential, and you bought a die with threat, so you get a chance to gain bonus momentum. Sorry.
1d6.
You got an effect, so that's +1 momentum and +1 threat.
Okay, then I'm just gonna use. You know what? I'm gonna use. I really need to knock him out quickly. I'm gonna use 3 momentum.
3 momentum, so 2 more dice. Okay.
Yeah, for a total of 4.
For a total of 4. Okay, let me find the guard. Okay. All right. So this is going to be just difficulty of 1. Okay, because it's hand-to-hand combat. He's not fighting back against you because of the advantage you created. You got the surprise attack on him. So you're going to have to deal 5 points of stress over top of his resistance total to make sure you knock him out in one go. Okay?
It's the 4 dice.
Yes.
Let's go. 5.
Okay, good. So that's 4 over top of it. So that's 4 momentum back. 1 at least cannot be banked. Okay, so there's 1 that could be added to do more damage.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage, which is for unarmed strike. You're rolling 5, I believe. So just roll your unarmed strike on there.
Okay. Unarmed strike.
Okay, so that is unarmed strike has knockdown. It's non-lethal, so you could at least knock him down with it because of those. That is 3 damage right now. He has 1 resistance because of his armor, so that's a total of 2. So what you can do is you could use momentum to re-roll dice. You could use momentum to just add damage onto it. You could use momentum to cut through his armor, which wouldn't really make much sense because it's only 1 point of armor. But you would need to get 3 more damage in order to knock him out with this 1 hit. And you do have 1 momentum you can't bank, so you have to use it.
So 1 momentum, 1 dice reroll?
1 momentum, you can reroll any number of dice, but you can only do that 1 time.
Okay, so I can.
You can roll those
1 momentum
2 zeros.
to reroll to the 2 zeros, and then after that, am I able to use momentum to add damage?
Yes.
Oh, then let's do that. So I'll use the non-bankable to reroll.
Okay.
Which gets me that.
Very good. Okay, so that's a total of 7 damage. So you leap out of the shadows, double hand right to the back of the neck, and just he goes down into the dirt. Very, very classic Star Trek move. Nice job. Okay.
Yeah. Now for a not very Star Trek thing, I'm gonna start stripping him.
Well, there you go. Okay. As you do that, the Romulan ally of yours, he comes skulking down to where you are, and he crouches, realizing what you're doing, and he's keeping watch for you.
Lovely. Yeah. So I'm gonna strip him off and gown up in the armor myself.
Okay. For 2 momentum, if you're willing to spend 2 momentum, I'll say that the armor fits you perfectly, and you will be able to blend in.
That's normally standard to Star Trek. Fine.
Normally standard. Or if you don't, we could do the it would be like the Austin Powers route, where it's like the really, really tall guy and the fat woman go into the restroom, and then they go knock him out, and they come in, and they're in perfectly like tailored fit outfits. So that's kind of what
Star
happened.
Trek.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you got the advantage on that you are indistinguishable from a guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so once I'm fully gowned and have he has a phaser weapon, right?
He has like kind of a cattle prod type thing. It's kind of like a phaser thing that's more for stunning, not killing. It's like a rifle-ish type thing.
That's fine. A what?
It's kind of like a rifle, but it's not really like a hunting rifle. It's like a stunning rifle.
So it shoots stuns. Okay, you said cattle prod, so I was thinking a stick.
No, not like that, but it's kind of like a zapper.
Okay, cool. Then so once I'm fully gowned up, I'm going to put the body in the crevice.
Okay.
And go over to my Romulan friend and say, now I'm going to pretend you've pissed me off. So walk ahead of me as if you're hurt, and we're going to go find another guard for you to dress up. And then we shall proceed.
He agrees. So let me here. There we go. I'm going to say that little ninja guard is you.
Yeah, ninja guard.
Okay. All right. So you lead him. You're leading him to the room with the transporter, right?
For now, I was hoping to get another set of armor for him, so it's less suspicious I'm bringing some, just a random guy to the control office. Okay. So again, down another corridor, I'll find another guard, zap him, and yeah.
Okay. Then we could do that. You will just go straight to that. You head down another corridor until you find a guard that's alone. We'll say, here's a guard that's alone. You're leading him on the way.
Yep. As we walk past, I do the whole big turnaround and zap him in the back.
Turn around, zap him in the back. Okay. Let's see.
Not gonna make me roll?
I might actually, now that I think about it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because if you're using that gun, it's gonna make a sound. So yeah, that might be a good idea to make you roll on that one. Okay. So walk by, turn around. So this is going to be, again, if you're doing it very close, it's going to increase the difficulty because this is a medium range weapon. You're going to, well, no, that would be a regular phaser. So no, this one's a different one. Sorry. No, this would be more of a close range weapon. So yeah, actually being close to him is not going to raise the difficulty. I was thinking the regular phaser rolls, but it's still going to be difficulty of 2.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay.
And what momentum are we on again?
You're at
now, right?
You're at 4 now. Yes.
Then I will buy one more dice with momentum for a 3. This would consider hand phaser, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. My focus is still used. Cool. Security, fitness, and 3.
3. That gets the hit. And roll your stunning damage.
How many dice? 6, 5, 4?
For phaser, because of this one, it's just stunning damage, but it's a rifle. This is going to be actually it would probably be about the same as what your phaser type 2 would be. So with you, that would be 7 dice again.
7.
Okay, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5. With his resistance, that would take it down to 4.
And I need...
You need 5 to knock him out in one hit.
I'll re-roll the 3.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. Yep. Okay, you turn around. Pure Star Trek. You stun him. Drops to the ground. He's done.
Lovely. If you wouldn't mind dressing up, please. And then I'll stand guard while he strips the guy and dresses in the guard uniform.
Do you want it to be a good fit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. So that means you would be down to 1 momentum left. Okay. So you're both in disguise. Okay. So what is your plan? Let's make this guy another ninja. Where's the? Let's see. What's a? There, we'll make him the sadder looking ninja. Okay. Okay. Double ninjas. Here we go.
Double ninjas. So yeah, we're gonna very nonchalantly make our way to the control room after hiding the knocked out card.
Of course. Okay. So you go you make your way through the corridors. Of course, dressed as guards, like no prisoners are messing with you. Nobody's really getting in your way. Nobody's questioning the two of you walking together. You get down to where you know the transporter room is. Are you going straight in?
Yeah, just gonna walk straight in as if that's what we're meant to be doing.
Okay. All right, you go into the room, and inside, I don't think anything for the transport room, but let me just see. Inside the first room you go in, you notice that, yes, that is the room that you were teleported into, kind of small, cavernous, dark underground room. There's the giant machine tube that you appeared in. Nobody's in that room now, but there is another door that you did. There is another door that you did not see the first time when you were brought out groggy, on the opposite side of the room, going deeper into another chamber.
Okay. Which means we're in the pod room right now, aren't we? So I'm gonna tell my Romulan friend to. You look on the computers to see if you can find out what's at the top. There we go, pod room. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him to look on the computers to see if he can get into the security system and see what's at the other end of the elevator. I'm gonna go have a look in this other room.
Okay. He runs to the controls on the pod, and he starts tapping away at that as you go into the next room. Give me 1 second. 1 second, let me get the room set up for you. I think you can see this. Okay. I gotta find. Oh, yeah, it will be on the other screen because you're in ninja mode now. So I have to get Ninja Drake. Okay. Okie dokie. 1 second. Almost there. There you are. Okay, you go through the next passageway into a room. It's a bit messier than the room. There's lots of machinery, equipment, tables, and just other devices around in this room. You see a lot of bodies covered in sheets. Dead bodies. Yeah. Oh, there you go. You got your disguise on. Perfect. You got a bunch of dead bodies in there. It looks more like a morgue instead of a control room. Glancing around the room, you see that there's a lot of operating tables and clearly blood spatter, gore, and all sorts of tools just strewn about there, which kind of makes sense that that's where they took the dead body that was under the sheet that you saw previously. You see a couple bodies there, like as shown on the image. They're on these slabs in front of like a kind of a plasma conduit. And in the back of the room, there seems to be on a bit of a raised step, another office there. But it's definitely a very chilling sight and a chilling cold area.
So, like the image, it looks like a giant, well, crematorium?
Similar to that, yes. But again, instead of fire there, it's more of a plasma conduit instead of like a flame thing.
Okay, does it, well, I'm guessing, well, I suppose it doesn't really matter what the body conditions are in. Question is after seeing that, I'll head back into the other room, just to see how my Romulan friend is getting on, to see, so I don't want to progress too far if that's just going to cause problems.
Okay. Going back to the Romulan, he said that there's nothing on the terminal that seems that it's connected to anything else in this mine. It just seems that the only thing it is for is maintenance of the transporter tube.
Okay, then we'll have to make our way through the crematorium to whatever is at the end. And then I'll like briefly explain what's in the other room so he doesn't freak out.
Okay.
Because that would not be what I want. And then we'll make our way toward, the pair of us make our way into that room and head towards the door. Before I open the door, I'm going to turn to him and say, if there's anyone in there, follow my lead. Okay?
He nods in agreement.
Cool. And then I will head into the room.
Okay, so you're going into the office type room, correct?
I can't see inside, can I? There's not a nice little glass window on the door.
Okay. Yeah, just going. It looks to be empty.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then head in.
Okay, going into the office. This would appear to be the warden, the High Warden's office.
Perfect. Then, confirming that there's no one in there, I'm going to ask my Romulan friend to once again see if he can get into the computers.
Okay. He'll get to work on that. He starts.
I will.
Yeah. Typing away. What are you doing while he's doing this?
Is there any other computers in the room?
There's a couple terminals, but he's on the main one at the desk. But there are like the side monitoring terminals. Yes.
Yeah. Then, whilst he's using the main one, I'm gonna obviously close the door behind me, and then I'm going to open up one of the terminals and see if I can look through the prison. Look for a prison list for the past 60 years.
Okay.
I want to see if any of the crew, the Darwin crew, were brought to this hellhole.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. So you're looking into the computer files for a while. We'll do this. Meanwhile, your Romulan friend is typing away frantically on the computer, trying to access things. You start going back 60 years. And you're not seeing any note of any kind of human or Starfleet who has been in these mines before. Like, you're not spotting any name or any mention of race, anything like that. But something does catch your attention of maybe about 50 years back, somewhere about the same range. You see that there was only one note of a single Romulan being imprisoned in these mines, and it was roughly 50 years prior. And opening that file, you see the face of your companion.
Oh, no. This is what I was hoping wasn't the case. Okay, I will turn to No, before I start making accusations, am I able to try and find where this mine is located? If there's any information regarding that?
You'll have to start digging, but yeah, you should be able to find it. It'll take a little more time.
Okay, whilst I'm looking for this, I'm just gonna start chatting with the like casual conversation while we break into the computer sort of feeling.
Yeah.
Of asking him, how long has he been here?
Me? Well, it's probably a bit over 2 years. Almost 2 years. Getting kind of hazy, but I'm trying to keep my focus.
2 years. How have you been counting that?
Day by day.
You've been leaving little scratches on the walls?
Most of it in mind.
So when did you get to this? When did you arrive on the Sphere of Xylxyk?
Well, I was actually doing a bit of an undercover operation shortly before this happened, but I think that somebody tipped off the government that I was doing it. They found me instantly, and well, here I am.
Here you are. Just out of curiosity, what star date was that?
What do you mean by that?
Hang on, out of game is star. Yeah, they use star date, right?
Starfleet uses Stardate, and Romulans would probably be familiar with it.
Oh, then yeah, just what star date did you arrive here? Just to see how long you've been here.
Stardate. I don't know if I was keeping track of the stardate that your Starfleet keeps, but it was roughly around the time that I know that your government switched to the new representation system. So it was within, I would say, the first 1,000 of your stardate listing.
And I'm guessing that confirms about 50 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
Bollocks. Okay, oh, why am I in a virtual reality? I don't know where to go. I can't escape. It's just dawned on me what's happened. And it's dawned on Frank, and he's now panicking as he doesn't know how the hell to get out of here. Okay, then have you found out what's at the other end of the elevator?
Oh, I'm trying. It's talking about shipments and shuttle runs. I'm starting to think that we're not on the homeworld any longer.
Yeah, well, okay, I want to change tact into what I'm. Oh, fuck, oh, dude, I don't know what to do.
Well, that's just fine, because I'm spending 3 threat just in time for all your consoles to get locked out with this red light flashing on there. And then a moment later, all of the consoles in the office turn on with the face of the High Warden. He said, I see you found my office, and in record time. This is impressive. Perhaps we should meet one more time face to face. How about that, Mr. Drake?
I then take off the helmet, which I'm doing. Give me a second, because I can't see shit through this. Ooh, the sun's come out outside. Wow, I was in that for a while. Yeah. Yeah. Let's meet. Is this my first run, or how many has it been?
He just smiles at you as the music swells and we go to a commercial break. Okay, we'll take our 10-minute break here. When we're coming back, we're going to the DeGrasse Tyson. We're going to be conference room. You're meeting with Mir, so all senior staff will be present, as well as Middelan. So anybody prepare how you want to deal with these negotiations. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right, going
Sounds
to
good.
going to start the break, and see you in the few. See you. And back on the DeGrasse Tyson. Here we go. The leader or lead voice of the Secularist, Mir, has boarded the vessel, and he's been escorted into the conference room by your temporary chief of, or tactical officer, I should say, Ensign Doe, who is standing guard just in case, because when you have a unknown guest on board, you have to have a security guard there. Otherwise, all members of the senior staff, minus Velik and Drake, clearly, are present, and Representative Middleland is also there as well. So,
did anyone come with Mir?
No, he wants to come on his own in case it's a trap. He doesn't want anyone else in his group to get caught up in it.
I see.
He's made it clear that if this is going to be a betrayal, he wants to be the only one that suffers the ill effects of it. So the other vessels have actually backed off quite a distance away from the DeGrasse Tyson as well.
Oh, so is his transport ship still here?
No, they docked, he got off, and then they all backed away, and they're waiting for his signal to say it's safe to get him, or if that doesn't come, they're probably just going to flee deeper into the nebula, is what you would expect.
What was the representative's name again? I apologize.
Midolan. Any other questions before we begin?
Have I learned any kind of title for him at this point?
He doesn't have a title. No, his name is, I believe it's Mir Skegot.
Mir Skegot.
If I could find the page that he's on, but I assure you that, yep, that's his name, all right. He comes in. Know this? Yeah, you would know this now. Yeah, the representative would told you that on the way in because she clearly has dealt with him before.
All right.
He's looking very apprehensive as he comes in, but he still has a air of pride about him.
Mr. Skegot, I welcome you aboard the USS DeGrasse Tyson. Please have a seat.
He sits down at the far end, close to the door where he entered.
I must commend you, Mr. Skegot. It is a very courageous act to come alone to what you must obviously see as an enemy vessel in an attempt to reduce any threat to your crew members and friends. I respect that choice. I think it is it's one that I hope I would take myself.
Well, I appreciate your words, Commander, is it?
Commander, yes.
But I'm going to need more than words to be convinced of your intentions here.
Mm-hmm. A man by my own heart. Actions do speak louder than words.
That's a good value to have.
I will lay it all clearly here on the table for you, as you've been honest with us so far. So I would like to extend the courtesy to you. We have been sent here by the Holy Seat in order to apprehend you and your group, in that we might trade you for the freedom of our crew member. But seeing how we have been so mistreated by the Holy Seat, it would not surprise me to find out that you too have been mistreated. So we would like to hear your side of events, specifically detailing what might have happened on the day that the attack occurred at the government, or at the seat of government, and that our crew member was accused of destruction of property.
He nods his head. And Well, I do appreciate you allowing me time to speak. And yes, I believe that the government, or more specifically, the First Scholars version of our government, is definitely trying to do the wrong thing by us. He looks over at the representative, and I'm quite surprised to see you here as well, Middleland, working for Ani, knowing that he clearly is not holding the values of the Prime Scholar up as he should be doing in his position. But yes, as you said, we were on the Holy Seat. We were expecting to meet up with some others from our class who wish to go into hiding for the time being, as First Scholar Ani is cracking down on those of us who are, how can I say, maybe more enlightened in how the galaxy works.
When you keep saying First Scholar, you're referring to the temporary replacement, not the missing First Scholar.
Oh, the Prime Scholar is the one who's missing. The First Scholar is...
My apologies.
No, it's... Believe me, this governmental system is arcane and confusing and is well past its prime.
All right, I'm sorry for interrupting. Please, continue.
No, but it was clearly a setup where our usual contact had us arrive. Usually we do something to make us identifiable by whatever group or individual that we are trying to sneak off world. This time, in what I should have seen as a warning sign, we were provided with identical cloaks, so they would recognize the members of us who were there to extract the refugees. And when no refugee and no contact arrived, we were just on our way back to our shuttle, and we got fired upon. It was like they knew we were going to be there, and I'm sure that's the purpose of the cloaks.
So, do you believe then there might be someone amongst your numbers that could have betrayed your group?
No, I don't believe so. I believe the one who betrayed us would have been our contact on the world.
I see. And would you perchance have had any contact with the missing Prime Scholar?
No, and I wish that we knew what happened to her, because when she was actually there leading, we could share our view. We could show the people what we saw when we went out. We're the ones traveling to the other worlds. We're the ones navigating the Sphere of Xylxyk. We are meeting other races, other species, other cultures, and we are seeing what the truth is in the galaxy. She was allowing us to say that. She was allowing us to show that there's more than just the beliefs we have of the deity. And if she was still around, I don't think we would be in this position. It's God and bad, Commander. And he gives a hard look to the representative when he says that.
Representative, what say you on... do you have any response to these accusations made by Mira?
The representative starts to explain, and again, I just want to reiterate, typical TNG Voyager anything conference room style. All senior members, please feel free to speak up with your own questions and comments at any time, just like you see on our below TV shows. Okay? I need a drink because I'm about to choke on something. The representative basically admits with a little bit of regret that yes, indeed, since the first scholar has been in charge for about a year. Slowly, he's been taking things more towards the conservative style, whereas he's supposed to be rolling in the prime scholar's stead, and that includes adhering to the policies that she set in order and to the style of government that she is running. But as she hasn't returned in such a long time, he's been becoming braver and braver in moving back to his vision of how the government should run and how it has run for millennia.
Would the reactionary party, would they have people that would be willing to die for their cause? Because by now we must assume that the person who destroyed the statue, whose robe didn't fit at all, was part of the setup, maybe to stir up hatred towards the secularists, and he was killed.
So you mentioned that, and Mir speaks up. We are not trying to martyr ourselves for this. We will defend ourselves, and indeed, if it means protecting everyone else, we are willing to give our lives when necessary, which is
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I meant the person who destroyed the statue, who was probably a part of the reactionary, the first scholar movement.
Mir looks, he said, I saw that attack take place. I have no idea who.
And actually, I was asking the representative.
Okay, representative
So,
looks like,
yeah.
I don't think, and she's looking confused back at Mir, back at you. I don't think that Ani would do such a thing. And beside, the man who attacked your crew member was dressed in those same robes.
Yes, but they didn't really fit. That was something that really stood out to me. He didn't. To me, he didn't look like he was part of the group.
Mir speaks out and says, he definitely wasn't with us because everyone that came with me left with me.
So, representative, you're saying you had no idea that this might have been a, what do the humans call it, false flag operation?
It would be hard for me to believe that someone like Ani would be willing to destroy a sacred sculpture such as that just to make a point. I mean, I know he does not agree with allowing the separatists to corrupt the minds of the general public, but to destroy something like that, I don't want to believe he would do that.
Well, there have been lots of theocracies throughout history who didn't really believe in the stuff they were preaching anymore, and just kept to the traditions, stick to the traditions for power and for manipulating people.
Quite right, Lieutenant Weber. Or even if they do believe, many times they're able to excuse their own actions if it's for what they see as the greater good.
Exactly.
Everyone is the hero of their own story.
Mir looks to you again, Commander. He says, that just leaves one very important point for this meeting, Commander, and that is what is to be done about it. You're here to bring me in. You're here to retrieve your crew member, which that in and of itself just doesn't line up with the laws of the Holy Seat. He is, regardless of whether he wished to destroy that, he is to be punished. And if they told you they're going to trade him for me, or for all of us, that's against the laws as well.
I do see one possible route to a agreeable outcome for everyone involved. Well, everyone but the first scholar. That would be if we could find the prime scholar and return her to the holy seat. Possibly she could make the correct decisions that would involve a peaceful end to everyone involved.
That is true.
Would the first scholar still accept her authority, or would she be? Would she probably say she's been gone for too long or something like that?
Well, I would say that there's a better chance of her listening. However, there's been no trace of her. There's been no sign of her for a year now.
Possibly with our scientific and technological knowledge combined with yours, we might be able to use the scanners, the combined technology of your ship scanners and our ship scanners to provide a more wide range and detailed scan of the area to look for her than just your ships have been able to do over the past year.
It's very possible, but if you're insisting or suggesting that Ani is capable of creating, what did you say, a false flag, and
yes,
killing one of his own people and destroying even a sacred relic, I think it's worth believing that the first scholar, or the prime scholar, is going to have no trace to be found.
Well, you believe that she might have been removed by the first scholar.
Well, from what you're telling me, it now is making a lot more sense why we haven't heard any report, any feedback, or found any trace of her at all in a year.
Well, if we could find evidence that that foul play is afoot, then that might be enough to bring to your government that we could remove the first scholar from his position.
The representative looks at you and says, it could possibly work, but there's no telling how long that would take, Commander.
There is also the question that we as Starfleet must always consider, which is at what point are we overstepping the bounds of our duty of non-interference?
That would be something that all of you crew members would be able to chime in on, and what your opinion is on what should be done.
It is one thing to try and recover a crew member. It is another to overthrow the current leading government.
But does it still apply when we are asked? I thought it was just interfering on our own wouldn't be allowed.
Technically, it would. We overthrow government. We could change the entire outcome of an entire race of people.
Lieutenant Alder, Lieutenant Thadagia, I would hear from you, your opinions.
Commander, I don't really have anything to add. I would follow your wise counsel in this.
I must concur with Lieutenant Mulder as well.
So it's
We would
we
be
don't
helping
have-
out a big movement, though. It's not just a small group. Would be helping a big movement that's trying to bring progress, and it's not that we are just, yeah, I don't know how to put it.
We don't have contact. We're too far or in the nebula to be able to contact the captain at this point, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Tishram, were you about to say something?
Yes, let's settle then. We'll just let Drake die. Sounds fair to me.
No, this is the spirit of Drake.
Yeah. No, that was Ensign Doe just lamenting that his boss might be gone. No.
I don't know. Ensign John London's it.
Oh.
He gets promoted.
I would say we're too involved now to just take that way out. You're hosting a talks here between the two sides, more or less.
And also remember, one of your directives from Starfleet on this mission is to establish peaceful first contact with the sphere or the holy seat of Xylxyk. So, starting a civil war on their home world might have adverse effects for your careers.
This is just the American style of
Yeah.
establishing peaceful first contact, and by that we mean putting a government in place that is
Yeah.
friendly towards us.
Yeah. It's operating slightly different in Starfleet right now.
What's stopping us from just going and getting Drake? What's stopping us?
I would guess that the fact that they have warships and we are a scientific vessel would be the first barrier to entry in that kind of operation.
Come on, Commander, haven't you heard of undercover operations? Just show back up and go get the boy.
We hardly stood against these two civilian ships.
Well, I guess that's fair.
That being said, could we find any evidence that would support our claim of foul play in the events that took place? Given that we have spoken now with the opposing side, can we think of anything that we could use, that we could legally accuse the first seat of his part in the attack that day? Short of finding the Prime Scholar. Because it sounds that if we can unseat him, then we might be able to resolve this enough, at least to get our crew member back. I do find it interesting that something that was pointed out shortly ago, that you said it would be illegal for them to do the trade for the separatists for our crew member.
Mere
So if we're
nonsense. Yes, it goes against the
standing
laws, yes.
If we're already standing on illegal ground, could this not be the foothold we need to start to prove that there's something wrong something going on with the government.
Mir speaks up. Oh, go ahead, Tishran. I want you to go first.
Illegally, who's lost? It's against who's lost to trade Mir.
Well, let's assume, Lieutenant, that we are trying to play by their legal laws, and we want to find a way to outmaneuver them at their own game.
I understand. But
If I may speak, Captain.
Go ahead.
I appreciate our diplomatic stance on this, but it may be that we need to take another, perhaps unorthodox measure in order to rescue our crewmen.
See, an Andorian with good sense. We just go get him.
But just Mir, he speaks up. He's saying there, thinking, if only we had access to some of those surveillance from what happened that day, we could prove that it wasn't my group that was involved in this.
Didn't I get some of that surveillance?
He perks up and he looks at you. Well, surely when you reviewed it, you would have seen that we had nothing to do with it, correct? Can I see this footage?
I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. Sure, if you want to see it, absolutely. Hey, these are your people, right? I'm sure you could see something out of the ordinary.
Well, yes, please, definitely. If it's going to help my case and yours, and anything that's going to make the first scholar lose face, I'll be right behind.
Of course. Yes. I'll turn them over whenever you're ready.
As soon as possible.
Well, we do have the screen there, right? So there's a screen behind it.
There's a beautiful screen right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
okay.
I guess. Ensign Doe, make the popcorn.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He runs off to the kitchens.
Replicate popcorn.
Okay. So you fire up the video on the screen, the surveillance that you've returned from the planet with. Examining it, there's multiple angles, but the main angle, of course, they're getting from the Sacred Garden itself. It's another bird's eye view type style, looking down in there. You can see, like, from the bottom corner, like the group of the green robed figures that was Mir and some of his associates coming in. They're coming in. They're seemingly not even interested in what's happening in the garden itself. They appear to just be talking with each other. And Mir starts to narrate that here's the point where we were just on our way back to the show, and look, and he points to the bodyguard of the first scholar, who has been looking around and scanning the crowd constantly. He locks his eyes in the direction of the green-robed figures. And you could see in the video that he shouts something and draws his weapon and just starts firing. But it's clear that the four figures in the green robe were making no attempt to go near the garden. They weren't even aware of where the fire was coming from at first.
Does the first scholar seem surprised?
Looking at the video, the first scholar, you see that the first scholar, he was in animated talk with the captain at the time, just like waving his arms around, pointing to things. But it does look like he's clearly trying to keep himself, like, with his bodyguard between him and the crowd on the side where the Mir and his compatriots were. Mir speaks out. Can we get another angle to see where we came from?
Also, is this man's face clearly seen?
Which ones?
The one who started firing.
Yes, it's the it was the first scholar's bodyguard.
It is the first scholar bodyguard. Okay.
Yeah. He shouts out, and Lieutenant Weber, you were there, so you heard the commotion, and the representative was there. So the two of you were there, and you saw like the shots started from, of course, the bodyguard himself, and then the return fire came. But even as you can see on the video, the return fire is a little haphazard at first. It was like they didn't know where they were supposed to be shooting into, and then you know how the rest of it played out. Then later on, you see Drake pushing the captain back in the defensive position so she is not in the line of fire behind the statue. And then from clearly a completely different angle, you can see the large, brutish man just blindly charge in
robes.
In the ill-fitting robes, blindly charge in. Completely different angle from where these other rogue figures were. And the tackle, the crash, Lieutenant Weber coming in, helping the captain up, and then the Secularists transporting away in their strange transporter beam, and then the execution of the brutish man while he's still on top wrestling with Drake. See, look,
so this person is clearly not a part of your group.
I have no idea who that is. That looks like one of the slave workers that they have.
They have slave workers?
They still employ prisoners to be slaves in one of their mining operations. Yeah, that's how they build the glory of the world.
Wait. Could there be what determines a prisoner going to be a slave?
Well, pretty much any major offense gets sent to be a slave, unless it's worth execution.
What?
So how come Lieutenant Drake is happy in his cell and not a slave?
It's weird that they would put him in a cell. He should have just been executed immediately. But I know some of the aristocrats and the higher-ups and other special guests sometimes are assigned to life sentences in their solitary confinement. But not for people of my class, I can tell you that.
Well, we need to figure out something quick. I'm not sure Drake could handle a mine.
Is there any chance that the government could have wanted one of our crew for some other reason than just in other words, could this operation have not have been an attack against the separatists, but rather an attempt to capture one of our crew members from the start?
I'm not sure, Commander. It's very possible. All I can say is from my perspective, it's looking like they used your crew member as an excuse to set us up, because regardless of what we believe against what our society is taught to believe, we're not terrorists. We are not here to destroy the beliefs of others. We just want everyone to think more freely for themselves.
Representative, what's the general stance among the population? Would they be influenced by seeing someone from the secularist movement destroy a statue like that?
The representative has a grim expression, and she nods like, yes, and in In fact, that was exactly the sentiment that we were getting before I came aboard your vessel, that what happened there seems to be proving the words of Ani and his conservatives, that they are getting more extreme in their measures.
So far as I can see, the entirety of these events have been beneficial to the First Scholar. And yet, there seems to be little to nothing that would have benefited the Separatist group.
That's for sure. We didn't even have any people to evacuate this time. It was nothing but an ambush for us.
Logic says that you are indeed telling the truth, and that these events have played out to the liking of the First Scholar. So at this point, how can we convince the legal system or the public that this is the truth of the matter? We have the videos. Do we have any other evidence?
All I remember is getting the videos.
Well, all I can say is that if this man, and he points to the brutish guy that was dead, if this man is from a prison mine, the mines are run by the government, and the government is under control of First Scholar Ani right now. He would have had to have gotten one of these prisoners out. Only the government could do that.
So there might be records of this.
And it could possibly be records, yes. Or even confronting Ani with this truth might even be enough on its own. If he just sent you out here to do his dirty work, because he knows he cannot make a move against us and his own people. That's why he's never sent ships after us, but getting a vessel of yours, somebody who's not tied to the government, to bring us in, I don't think he expected you to actually speak with me.
Representative, these records of the prison, is this something that you could access? Could you perchance identify this man by comparing his the pictures and video of him to prisoner records?
I should be able to once I get back to the Holy Seat.
And if I understand correctly, you are a supporter of the Prime Scholar.
Yes, definitely. I am.
So we can trust you if we take you back to not immediately turn heel and give us over to the First Scholar.
I give you my word, Commander. I have to admit I'm a bit disturbed with everything that's happening and that I'm hearing so far. But this is not why I joined the government. This is not why I joined Prime Scholar Sosan. I didn't do it to deceive or to get people killed.
I would be worried if you were not disturbed by these events. I propose that we return to the Holy Seat, in that we might be able to prove that this was a setup by the First Scholar. Mr. Mir, I offer that you come with us aboard our vessel. I understand you do not want your comrades to be placed in danger, so they might stay out here. But I also understand if you might be too hesitant to join us. But I believe that having you with us, possibly to testify on behalf of your people, could be a benefit to the whole situation. And if everything ends well and we are able to remove the First Scholar from power and get our crew member back, that this might give an opportunity for your people to return to their home too.
With all due respect, Commander, as much as I support your endeavor, if I'm the prisoner he wants, I don't think whatever you may say will allow me to leave that world again alive. If it's all the same, I would like to go back doing what I've been doing to keep my people safe.
I gave you my word, and you are free to do so. However, if you do return to the Holy Seat with us, I would offer that you can stay aboard our ship and not return to the planet itself in order to guarantee your safety.
Well, if my sacrifice will keep the rest of my friends safe, then I suppose that's what my fate is.
Well, you will have my word that I will keep you safe. You will not fall into the hands of these people.
Oh, forgive me, Commander, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to keep me safe if you let them know I'm on this ship and you walk right into their hands, but I'll trust you to do what you think is right.
Very well. Any objections from anyone else with this plan of action?
No, but I would like to request permission to run a detailed scan on the planet's surface. Mr. Mir, you mentioned that there are mines. Do you happen to know where they're located?
Throughout all of the asteroid fields in the sector, there's many of these mines here. It's from the stretches out from the sphere itself, as well as the orbit of the entire system.
Is there anyone in particular that one might likely find themselves sent to?
There's too many to count.
Okay. Captain, I'd like to still run a scan to see if we can pick up on Drake's signature. His cellular signature.
Did you say the mines are throughout the system? They're not on the planet?
No, they're on the asteroid belts.
So, if worst case scenario, the lieutenant is in one of these mines, then he would not be on the planet any longer.
If they sent him to the mine, then definitely he would be in space.
All right. Well, rather than searching all the mines, it seems logical that we search the planet for him. And if we see no sign of him, then we'll have even more questions for the first scholar.
Okay, is that the course of action everyone's going to take? Heading back to the seat with a mirror in hand, scanning the planet's surface, and then confronting the first scholar?
Yeah. I guess so.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was about to talk to you on the way out of the conference room. I don't know if we have finished here or...
Yeah, we could be moving the scene, so go ahead, set up what you want.
Commander?
Yes, Lieutenant.
No matter how this will end, I think the fact that they are slaveholders pretty much jeopardizes our mission to establish diplomatic ties, or at least changes them quite a bit.
Yes, it certainly does, although there is, throughout many cultures, there is a slight difference between a prisoner and a slave. but it certainly does. We'll have to see what the distinction is.
Yeah, probably how.
Okay, are we good on there?
Well, as good as it gets, yeah.
As good as it gets, yeah. All right, we're going to switch to the mines real quick. No momentum loss because this wasn't really a rolling scene, so it would not be fair to take away the last momentum. So we'll just go back and into basically the office, but in the morgue. Hang on a second, you gotta get on the screen. Let me get that ready for you. Here we go. So again, on the computer screen, you had the High Warden call you out directly, Lieutenant Drake, and he said he wants to have a talk with you. So you're pretty much waiting as he's approaching into the room with his own escort of guards. But while you're sitting there in the office with your Romulan associate, Romulan turns to you and said, "Hey, Starfleet, I have to ask you a question. Why did you want to know how long I've been here and the star date?"
Is the information still on the screen that I had up before now that his face is gone?
No, the computers are all locked out still.
Okay. Well, that might be a little difficult to explain. I think the conversation we're about to have with the Warden may clear that up, at least for a time, but I get the feeling you've been here a lot longer than 2 years.
He takes a very, very long inhale. He turns and looks at you. About how long do you think?
Well, from what I saw on the computer, you've been here about 25 times longer than you think you have.
His eyes widen, and the color seems to drain from his face. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Oh. Now
At the moment,
yeah.
go on.
Go. No. You go.
No. I was just going to fill the silence, but no. If he's about to arrive, the conversation will clear things up anyway.
Okay. So the High Warden comes into the office, and of course his guards enter first. This time they're not carrying stun weapons. This time, clearly, which to do that's going to cost them threat spending to make sure that they have those weapons there. So I'm down to 3 threat at the moment. They come in.
Wait, so what are they carrying then?
They're carrying regular phaser rifles.
Oh, cool. To kill. Great.
Yeah.
Carry on.
They come in and they have it pointed at you, clearly suggesting that you drop your own weapons.
Fine. I'll put it on the computer, the table next to me.
Okay. Oh, you were very busy, gentlemen, I see. As the High Warden steps in. Very nice accessing. Was it difficult for you, Lieutenant Drake?
Not particularly. Your guards don't seem very well trained.
No, indeed. No, they are not quite like Starfleet. You humans are very interesting, aren't you? Very interesting indeed.
Have you met other humans before?
No, just one.
Me?
Yes, you. And what a fascinating creature you are.
I'll take that as a compliment.
You should. You are very interesting. He looks over at the Romulan like, we don't need this one anymore. Take him away. And one of the guards steps forward, and the Romulan stands up. He seems in shock, kind of.
I prefer him to stay just to hear our conversation. I get the feeling I know how it's gonna go.
Oh, it doesn't matter if he hears it or not. He already knows the details, or enough of them. Don't you, my friend? And the Romulan gives the High Warden kind of a very sick and upset look as he shakily steps out of the room on his own, in his own volition. Oh, please,
Okay.
please, Mr. Drake, have a seat. Welcome. It's so nice to see you here.
I'll take a seat, and I don't feel particularly welcome. You mind explaining? Is this a simulation, or have you wiped my mind?
Oh, no, I'm afraid neither. Neither of those. Interesting. Why did you choose the computers? You didn't go for the elevator.
Well, there's a few reasons. One, I didn't know what was on the other end of the elevator. Two, I was hoping to find some information on the crew that came here previously. And three, the Nausicans made me suspicious that something else was going on.
Oh, yes, the Nausicaans, they make everyone suspicious, but they have their uses. I see you did a very fine number on them, on the when was it, yesterday when you attacked them?
Yeah, well, they attacked me, and turns out sonic pickaxes, pretty good weapons.
Indeed, yeah, that was wonderful. I was glad to see that. You're very resourceful.
I like to think so.
Many of the newcomers here, they repeat their actions. They try to escape the same way every time. Not you. You have been using your brain. I like that.
I get the feeling that's the only thing I've been using since getting here, as I wave my arms a little bit.
Oh, no. This is fascinating. This is fascinating. I might have to really look into your genetics a little bit more.
My genetics?
Yes.
What is this?
What is what?
This, I gesture in general. Is this real? Am I in some fantasy? What's going on?
Oh, I assure you, this is real. This is very real. This is, as real as it gets. This is wonderfully real. Take a look around, and he points out to the window where you see all the corpses covered up in sheets. Everything here is real. Everything here is, just meticulously created. Just for a moment like this.
Am I a clone?
Oh, I don't think that we do clones, but you might want to follow me.
Okay, and I'll get up and head towards him.
He's still rattling off a lot of details on things that he's doing. It makes no sense to you. A lot of it is scientific, the stuff he's rattling, and goes down, and he goes to one of the cabinets in the wall, and he enters in a code, and the door opens up, and he pulls out a long slab. There's another body under there again with cloth covering over the whole body, but it looks to you, compared to what you see in the room, it's chilled and frozen in its place, but it looks to be human.
Drake's prepared to see his own face when he pulls back the blanket, which he does pull back.
Okay, he reaches forward, and as you grab the cloth, the High Warden starts giggling again as you pull it off. And yes, indeed, you see your own dead face lying there. You've been dissected, it seems. There is a lot of secrets inside this human body, and you are just giving me more. Oh, I'm so glad you figured it out. Usually, they don't figure it out. Our very talented Tal Shiar operative there has yet to figure out that he has been doubled 20 times already.
Why?
Why? What do you mean, why? For progress, of course.
Progress in science or theology? What?
Theology. Oh, yes, of course. For the deity. No. To build our society, our great society, the better workforce we have. We don't have to worry about prisoners. We could just grow the best that we can make out of the best genetics of all the species we take. You have kept your mind clear for most of your doublings.
What number am I?
Does it even matter?
Well, little to me.
Don't worry, because the next version of you is not going to remember this conversation, so you shouldn't even worry about it.
Humor me.
What I would like to know is, would you, from what I know of Starfleet being explorers and wanting to do more, would you be interested in helping me with this? I don't have to destroy you and make another one, because there's no telling how that mind will work. You figure this one out on your own.
What do you mean, help?
Well, just share the secrets, what makes your species tick. Put yourself into some extreme situations. Can you finish the climb to the top of the elevator shaft, or are you going to fall to your death again? Would you be able to take out the Nausicaans before they're able to crack your skull this time? How can we test the limits of your species?
I don't know what to suggest, my friend. I get the feeling you're going to kill me off either way, aren't you?
I don't think you have to worry about dying. I mean, you've already been transported. You no longer have a soul.
No longer have a soul?
Yes, of course. That's how you got here.
You believe transporting removes the soul?
Believe it destroys the body and just creates a double. What does it matter? You're dead anyhow.
It matters to me. What happened to the original?
What do you mean?
Well, if I'm a double of whatever, what happened to the original Drake? Is he still on the holy seat?
There is no original. I mean, once you go through the transporter, you're all the same. We just throw one copy here, one copy there.
Okay, Drake's now struggling with this. And he's looking around to see where those guards are, by the way.
Okay, one of the guards has taken out the Romulan. There's the other guard that's just standing in the room, yeah.
How close to me?
He's more or less in a defensive position for the High Warden.
Okay. Right, so... oh, this is a weird situation to be in. So can you describe the positioning of everyone in the room? Obviously, there's the slab that's got my previous dead body lying there. I'm on one side. I'm guessing the High Warden and the guard is on the other, correct?
Yeah, that would be about right, yeah.
Drake's pissed. What are you expecting of me now, seeing as I know?
I would just like to test the limits of your abilities and perhaps get your own feedback that I could record into my notes and I could use to create a better workforce using human genetics.
What are these tests?
Oh, again, we'll just kind of push you to the limits, how many say, Nausicaans you can fight off with your bare hands, how much you can push yourself in endurance before your body and your muscles give out, things of that matter. And plus, now that you have been processed a few times, just some more mental tasks as well to see if you're able to handle more complex thoughts.
Am I going to be able to remember?
Well, you will.
For as long as I last, that is, right?
Yes, but don't worry about that, because once you fall, we'll just make one more.
I don't really have much options, do I?
You always have an option. We could just start fresh again.
Quick, as a side thing, is the High Warden armed?
No.
No.
He doesn't look it, but he is wearing robes, so no telling what's inside there. You could grope around. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not do that just yet. He's already creeping me out with the way he talks.
Yeah.
Then I'll start to walk around the slab, saying, I'd rather survive as long as I can. So let's just get this over with as I walk around.
Okay. He seems very pleased with that. Like, oh, perfect. Perhaps then you should get like a good night's sleep. Be well rested. Let's see you at your peak for tomorrow. And then perhaps I could surprise you with something first thing in the morning. But you also must keep working the mines, because that is, after all, the goal. So I want to see how you can balance your time working and mining and gathering rocks. And do you still have the power? Do you still have the strength to deal with whatever comes next?
So I'm going to, whilst he's repeatedly rambling on, keep moving towards them both.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, slightly more towards the guard.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, fuck it, I'm a clone. When I get close enough, I'm going to, fuck it. I'm going to try and tackle the guard and get the gun out of his hand.
Okay. Okay, let's go for that. Some combat action here again. You might as well. Okay.
Fucking clone, why not?
Okay, go ahead, Drake. This is going to be an opposed roll. Okay, so the guard is going to roll his hand-to-hand back with you as well, and whoever gets the better roll, the most momentum, is the tiebreaker. Okay, difficulty of 1.
I'm gonna use threat for bold security to gain an extra dice.
Okay, and he is going to have to roll his 3. So that's 4.
We only have 1 momentum, right?
Only 1 momentum right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't use that. That's fine.
Okay, hang on a second. She'll roll the dice for the guard. No. Let's see. Okay, that is. He has 2 successes, so that's 1 success that's needed and 1 momentum gained. You have 3 successes, so that's 2 momentum gained. You keep the extra one that 1 burns his off and 1 carries over, but you win the attack. So roll your damage.
I was going for the gun.
You're just grappling. So grappling with that.
I want to get the gun out of his hand.
I think you could spend. Momentum to kind of disarm him. I think that's how it works. Let me just make sure here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. What you can do is it takes 2 momentum to disarm him, which knocks the weapon to the floor, which you would then be able to use a minor action to try pick up.
Go for it.
Okay, so that's 2 momentum. So you go wrestling with him, crashing into the gurneys, corpses rolling around, falling on the floor. The gun falls, scatters on the floor for a bit, and you go reaching for it. Okay, and as you're grabbing that, that's when the guard's going to return the attack on you. So this is another oppose roll. So you roll your same thing. If you're going to add extra dice, that's your choice too.
What threat we on?
4 right now.
Well, it's now 5.
There you go.
And I'm gonna re-roll if I didn't win.
Okay, he only got 1 success out as well. So
Then, yeah, I'm gonna re-roll then, so I get the win. Well, hopefully I get the win and don't fail. I fail.
Fail with a complication. Okay. So with that, as you get the gun in your hand, the guard comes around and he spins around and he hits you, knocking the gun out of your hand again. That's what the complication is. So he's going to roll his damage on you to see what that does. Two stress.
Did my success not negate anything?
No, because he'll win the ties on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So basically, he hits you, and it knocks the gun out of your hand. That's 2 stress you got on you right now. And then the High Warden is going to run for the exit on his turn. And it's back to you.
Okay. Then I am going to dive for the weapon.
Okay.
And take a shot at the High Warden.
Okay, so you dive for the weapon as your minor action.
For the minor, yeah.
For the minor action. I would say probably picking it up again would be like another minor action to do that and aim. So that you don't have any momentum to spend, so I'll allow that with another threat gained.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, and your shot, you could fire your shot at him. I'm going to spend 2 threat to increase the difficulty on that shot because this is a pretty wild action you're taking. So it's going to be 3 difficulty on this.
Okay, I'm not going to add any. Oh, no, do you know what? I am going to add a threat because you've just taken 2 off.
Okay. Oh, there you go. All 3.
That's a success, isn't it? Yeah.
That is a success. So roll your. Oh, this is also because these weapons are set to kill. So it's doing lethal damage. It's not necessarily going to kill him, but it's doing lethal damage. So that automatically gains 1 threat since you didn't change that. Any kind of lethal attack gains a threat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize, but hang on.
You didn't realize, but you know they were in to harm you. But anyhow, you're rolling again. This is about phaser type. Basically 4 with your security. This is 8 dice of damage for you.
You might actually die from this one.
It's possible you could hit him pretty hard.
4, 6, 7.
Okay, let me just make sure there's anything else on there. Accurate charge. Oh, I forgot to say about the charge thing. But let's see. Yeah. Okay, so that is 7, you said, and the this one, yeah, those just don't count. These are just regular rifles. So 7, and hitting him, yeah, you blast him in the back, and he flies forward to the door. He hits the wall and slumps down. Even if he had resistance, it wouldn't really apply here. It does enough damage to take him out in 1 shot. Okay.
Take him out as in take him out, or take him out?
Well, it's a lethal hit. So he's out, but it's not necessarily dead yet. But he may die at the end of the round. Okay.
Okay, great.
So it's possible. Okay, and the guard is going to still attack you, or at least attempt to attack you. For that, and going to spend 1 extra threat for an extra die. You're on the ground because you said you dived for the gun, you didn't pick it up, so he gets the knockdown thing. So if he's successful, he gets 1 bonus momentum against you.
Okay. I need to counter roll.
Let's see here. he got a critical success and a complication simultaneously. So, what that does is, well, the critical success is he is hitting you with the well, I don't know why I'm giving him momentum. He's getting the bonus for the success. The complication, I could say that he's not able to get the gun away from you, though. How's that? So he can just try to hurt you. That's all. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, so he's going to do that. He's struggling with you, and again, 2 stress on you there. Not re-rolling that. You're at 4 stress. Okay, it's back to you.
Well, as my mind... Wait, are we grappling still?
He's like he's attacking you, but you still have full control of the gun. It's not really a struggle thing.
Okay. Then after seeing how badly that hit the High Warden, as my minor, I'm gonna swap it to non-lethal.
Okay.
Stun. And then fire at him.
Okay, this is also going to increase the difficulty because you're at close grappling range with him. So it's going to be 3 to hit him with this. Typically, you wouldn't... What's that?
Yeah, can I change that and instead just hit him with a butt gun?
Yeah. That would be difficulty 1.
Yeah, let's do that. That makes more sense.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be opposed again. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Yeah, he has to roll. Sorry. You definitely did hit him. And no, with another complication he rolled. So, yeah, we could just say the complication is just you clock him square in the jaw and knock him out instantly without having to worry about rolling the stress damage on that. If you would like. Okay, so...
I would like him unconscious, yes.
Okay, so you clocked him. And there you are in the morgue next to your own corpse, next to some knocked out bodies and what looks like a dying High Warden.
To which I'll go and try and see if I can, stop him from dying, because that's not quite me.
Okay. All right, you go over and try to tend to his wounds. That is going to be a daring a medicine.
So I'm probably going to accidentally kill him.
I believe difficulty 1. I can't find it, but right now it doesn't really matter. But go ahead.
1.
There you go. All right. You're able to tend to his wounds enough, and you're sitting there taking care of making sure that you apply. There's enough medical equipment in the room here that you find some bandages or things that could maybe apply there. So you're taking care of him. But we're going to have to, as you got the upper hand and you're there armed to the teeth now, we're going to jump back to the DeGrasse Tyson, if you don't mind.
I do not mind.
Okay, there we go. Next, back at the DGT. So you're back at the Sphere of Xylxyk. Or not the Sphere, the Holy Seat of Xylxyk. Okay, and let me know again, everyone, what exactly is your intention for right now. You've returned. The captain is still on the surface. Everyone is basically going to do their plan as spoken, correct?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
Okay. So what would you like to do? Are you going down to the surface? Are you scanning for Drake? What's happening first? Are you just communicating with the surface? How is this going down?
I want to ask the representative if he needs to be on the planet's surface in order to obtain these prisoner records.
She does, yes.
Okay. Actually, I'd like to speak with the other officers.
Okay.
So I propose that for now we leave as promised. Mia will stay on the ship here, and the representative and a representative of our ship can return to the planet's surface to meet with the captain and inform the captain of these newest developments. then the captain and the representative can prepare for prepare our confrontation of the first chair, or the first scholar. Does anyone have any ideas to add to this?
No, I don't think so.
Would anyone like to volunteer to attend the representative to meet with the captain?
I'll volunteer to go do that.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Okay, so if the shroud is going down to the surface, yes? Okay, anyone else?
Yes.
Anyone else do anything?
Perhaps Lieutenant Tadagia would like to go too, so that he might care for the captain, as she has not been with any of our medical personnel for quite some time now.
That would be a good idea.
Okay.
In fact, I'd like to modify some of our sensors before we go and modify our tricorders to basically run a background scan for Lieutenant Drake, just to see if he can pick up on his molecular or cellular structure. Maybe triangulate, I guess.
Okay. So you will say you're going to be making those mods to the tricorder, so you have them with you on your way down. So specifically narrowband to find humans, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, that makes sense. Let's see here. All right, as there would be no role involved, as she's able to do that, if you want, we'll just fast forward a bit where the representative, she gets the records, and she's able to find that there was like a transfer of a prisoner being released from one of their work mines, but there's no record of where the prisoner went to, and that would be on the date where the attack took place. The prisoner himself doesn't really have his file even there. It seems like it's been purposefully left blank in most cases. It's just a very plain standard image of this brutish looking man.
So it seems that this could be, is it close enough that we can confirm that the two are the same person?
It looks exactly like the person, even though you don't have a great angle in the video. There's still enough evidence to see that this is the same kind of. It's a very distinct face that he has.
All right, I think that then Lieutenant Thesron and the captain should be able to confront the representative can confront the first scholar, and if need be, can bring me and Mir in via communicator link.
Okay.
To the call, and I guess at that point then Weber and Alder can still join us too. The four of us can be in one room and added to the conversation.
That sounds good to me. Now let me get people involved here.
Sorry, Ensign Doe, it's a little above your pay grade.
That's okay, sir. I'll stay on lead the bridge.
Oh,
Make some more popcorn when you're at it.
Yes, sir.
He loves his popcorn. All right, let's get the representative in there. There she is. She is in there. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. All right. So, okay, let's go here. So you call a meeting with the, well, the captain calls a meeting with the first scholar. And, can you all see the meeting room? Do we got that there? I'll take your dead silence as a yes. We see it all. Okay, there we go.
Yes.
Okay. So the representative finishes showing the evidence displayed on the screen. The entire time, the first scholar, his guard is there too, the same bodyguard that opened fire on the rebels, or the Secularist. He's still there standing guard as usual, while the first scholar just listens to the entire presentation and sits there nodding, not really showing anything in his face. Then he asks,
And we can follow it, right? We can follow it up on the ship.
yeah, we'll say that you're all in like a conference call with him there too, because yeah, we'll just automatically keep the conference call going. How about that? Makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll do that. Actually, let me do that then. Let me put, what'd you say? Look, there's Lulk on the screen there, and you're all just looking over his shoulder. How's that? If you can see that. I don't know if you can. All right, so you're all in the conference call, and they make their case. The captain looks at the data pad and said, "It would appear to me, First Scholar, that what they are saying is correct. This does not look like it has anything to do with your secularist movement. And indeed, it seems that there is more of a cover-up going on. Whether I can say who in your government is involved or is not involved, that is to be determined, but I think it is without question that there's more than meets the eye to this whole operation." The first scholar still doesn't really reveal his hand with his expression. He said, "And you," he looks to the representative and then to Commander Lulk, as well as both of the Andorians who are there present. "You all got this testimony from a terrorist, is that correct?"
We have this testimony from one of your own people. Terrorist has been a common moniker used by many groups and governments in order to label and discredit a group in which they disagree with. And as you might have wanted us to apprehend him without questioning or simply blow him out of the sky, at Starfleet, we like to take the peaceful steps of investigation and finding the truth before blindly following the orders of leaders in government."
How very boring of Starfleet. And I assume you let this criminal just go on his way?
He's not seen in the call?
No, you're not really broadcasting that he's there. He did mention that would be a very bad idea. He's listening, but he's not there.
Yeah. Okay. We have not apprehended him in the manner that you had requested us.
That, too, is disappointing. He gives a very poison-filled side eye to Representative Middelan before returning there. "And what exactly do you propose we do that you've not succeeded in your mission, and you still somehow wish that I accept your fiction in releasing a convicted criminal on our world?
We believe that as the current sitting head of government, although not official head of government, that you do your duty to seek truth and justice in this matter. We have presented you with evidence that shows there is foul play in this whole scenario of events.
Yes, perhaps. I mean, I will have my crew examine this evidence, I suppose. I still don't see what you want from me in return for nothing, in fact.
In return for nothing, you are lucky to still be sitting in your seat of power, given the situation and your actions. It seems from our point of view that you have purposefully tried to, in one foul swoop, abduct one of our crew members and indict a group that opposes your rule.
Yeah, I suppose it would appear to look that way to supporters of criminal elements, but what can I say? You disappoint me, Starfleet. I thought this was going to be the beginning of a very good relationship between our governments. I mean, with the Prime Scholar seemingly not returning anytime soon, I've already put in a motion to have her dismissed as lost in the line of duty, and once that goes through, I will be the Prime Scholar, a bit ahead of schedule, I might say. And we could have had... I don't think the loss of a dear comrade is convenient, but it would still take time. However, I thought maybe we could work together and have a more prosperous
A first step towards working together would be returning our crew member. Seeing as it is very clear that he had done nothing wrong.
Is that in fact? Well, how about this? I've examined our charters and even the bastardized charters that the current Prime Scholar has created during her reign, and yes, I think I have found a suitable loophole that I could return your crew member to you, were I so inclined. Perhaps if you would be willing to turn over this investigation to me, I will return your crew member as you requested.
With the quickly pressing mute on my control panel so that I can speak to the other members aboard, or at least so that it's not being broadcast to the first scholar. So I suppose that the captain would still be able to hear in their private communicator. It seems to me that now that there is some evidence against him, he is very quickly more willing to turn over the crew member. And if anything, that is an indictment of his involvement in this. What are your opinions?
I agree. I also think that loss is the wrong word for him to use, because it usually implies not knowing where the person is. And I'm beginning to think he isn't exactly innocent in the disappearance of the Prime Scholar.
The trouble is, how can we force his hand? How can we use their own government against them to arrest him or to have him stand trial? And at this point, I would assume that Mir is in the room hearing me ask this question.
Yes. Mir would chime in that if he is currently planning to take over the government, there's likely little that can be done right now. The fact that he's not the Prime Scholar is probably the only reason why he would be able to quickly make this deal, or be willing to quickly make this deal. Probably once he becomes Prime Scholar, he would have roughly absolute control over the society, so he would not have to keep his word on anything he does, as long as he finds a loophole, as he put it, for anything he wants to do. But right now he's currently operating under the missing Prime Scholars laws. He might be trying to just make this go away quickly, just to make sure there's very little to slow down his ascent. But I don't think that without the Prime Scholar here, there's much that you can do as outsiders in shaping the views of the general public, and clearly not the clergy themselves.
I mean, with the meta knowledge that getting Drake back would give us a lot of information about terrible things happening in their society. Seems the best option would be just get Drake back and make whatever promises necessary, but don't actually have that knowledge, so can't make that decision. Any input from you guys on how you want to proceed?
I'm not really sure. We could hand the guy over, but I mean, they're essentially just going to kill him.
Well, he doesn't know that we have him, so we don't. I don't think we have to hand him over to even get Drake back at this point.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
We just have to step away from the investigation of the prisoner.
That would almost be one of the best. The way I'm seeing it, that would be one of the better routes. Step away if we're guaranteed to get Drake back, and just let them handle their own affairs.
I mean, we didn't promise Mir that we would solve their government issues, just that we would not hand him over. So we could still get Drake back and then take Mir back to his ship.
Right.
But we also wouldn't leave we wouldn't leave the Starfleet relations with the place on that great of terms.
Yeah. Their government issues are really none of our concern.
Yeah.
We don't have the authority to decide if Starfleet keeps up the negotiations and everything, right? We can't use that to pressure him in any way.
It's Starfleet who wants you to make the negotiation, so it's coming from Starfleet's side that they want the first contact made, not from the Xylxyk side.
Well, if I'm interpreting this correctly, we came in peace, and they have effectively, more or less, created a situation and acted in an aggressive manner. Now, I'm sure that the current government would not like to have to face the possibility of two conflicts on both sides. From that, of course, of the Federation and also that of the Separatists. I suggest that maybe we bring this information to them in some way to suggest that they did commit essentially an act of aggression under false pretenses. And if they were to continue, and if they were going to continue along this path, then there is a possibility of facing two conflicts on both sides. Something that they could not afford to do.
How far off are we from Starfleet space? Like,
very far. You're deep into
Very
the
far.
Shackleton Expanse, yeah. You're
so-
like when the first ship's out here, yeah.
right. So it's not just an easy thing to send another Starfleet envoy out here.
No.
But do they know this? Do they know this themselves? They don't know that.
Because I was gonna say we could suggest that we would take the lieutenant back and then send an actual investigative unit from Starfleet to investigate the whole situation that happened and determine whether or not Starfleet will have any continued relations or positive continued relations or consider them an enemy state based on what happened. Seeing as we are a scientific and not a diplomatic or let alone investigative, not that kind of investigative Starfleet unit. I mean, we would at least be able to relay the information on how to navigate to the Holy Seat now that we've been here. But this also, by not, I guess the other thing is by not, if we just cut off our mission here by getting the lieutenant back, we don't get any information about the Darwin.
Well,
Yeah, that's strong.
I'm going to propose this. We're already over our usual stopping time. So why don't we stop here? Because I know, of course, some of us still do have to go. We're at it's really late for a lot of people and early for more people. We'll stop here. We can take like the idea to the Discord, plan what the course of action would like to be on this, and then perhaps we can have a mini session sometime to try to maybe like the next game we have, instead of having a full game, maybe just like a half time game to go through all the potential resolutions.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Instead of rushing everyone right now in the last few minutes. So maybe the next game itself, maybe depending on how we do it and schedule it, we might have like either a mini session just to wrap up this episode and then start the next episode after the break. Or we could just have like a halftime mini episode, which in that case, we could even start later and start at the halftime point and just wrap it up. So depending on if it's better to start at a different time for people, then I mean, we don't have to, but throwing it out there. So instead of rushing your choices, because there's a lot of meaty stuff to play around with the scene, so I wouldn't want to tell you all you have to make it right now. Okay?
Sounds good.
Shall we do that?
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's call this a break here. We're kind of close to resolving things, but I mean, it could go any direction depending on what you decide. So we'll aim for a mini session next time at the very least, or 2 half sessions. Okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, so we're going to our next commercial break. Thank you again for everyone for joining us, and we are very close to some very complicated political and moral resolutions coming on here. And I'll create a room on the Discord, the usual conference room, to talk it through and come up with your plan of attack for next time, right?
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good.
All right, we're going to start. Thank you, and see you next time. So turning off the video. Here we go.
Thank you.
See you.